Oh shit!
What?
I didn't. The way they were singing, I thought it was at the end. I didn't know we still had a whole minute left. That's why we jumped up in here. Anyways, let's go back to our previous.
Tito, so playing Tito.
I'm sorry, yo. I'm drunk off that mead right now. It's been a minute. I still haven't.
Pour me another tankard, wench.
Well, first off, I will not let you. Let me kick my foot up.
I know that was really like more pirate, and that would be more like rum.
My dear
Mango?
my dear white people, I'm so sorry. My co-host over here doesn't like. She's willfully ignorant on their thing. What's it called?
You buy your meat. I make mine. Shut up.
I sure the fuck do. I'm not gonna be like. I don't have a toe fetish. I ain't squishing on grapes and shit like that. Get out of here.
You don't need grapes for mead. You need honey, like you said.
Yeah, you do. I don't know. I've been drinking. Anyways, let's play this.
What's poppin'? Mark.
No, but really, before we started this was really supposed to be a fucking Backstreet Boys song.
I don't know because
I was like,
no. I'm just saying I wouldn't know a difference between a Backstreet Boys
people. People don't know this about me and you. Like, we're related. And,
our families don't really talk though because of some stuff that went down at a family reunion, and Tito went wild one time, and
my dad stole gold teeth out of a dead nigga mouth. Like,
it was a lot. Weird. It was a lot.
All I'm saying is you can't choose the family that you're born into.
You can't.
But you can sure as hell hate them out your goddamn family. Yeah. If that makes any sense. But anyways, I forgot we're gonna tie this in fucking September.
You started it.
I don't know either. But hello everybody. How you doing?
Hello.
Red Shot, what's happened? Oh man, we got a video. No, we got a video with Red Shot in it. Like, it was made in the 1950s. Granted, he wasn't alive, but you can't tell me that it wasn't Red Shot in this goddamn video.
You can't tell me it wasn't.
Wait a minute, wait. But how are you guys doing? I hope you guys doing all right. I just got one particular question because I don't think I've seen this person's message yet, and I'm going to be pissed off if they're not here. Oh yeah, I'm about to get mad now. I'm about to get mad now.
Here.
No, let's go into a fake ass rant real quick. A fake ass comedy rant real quick. All right. I'm not gonna talk about her too bad because I believe she comes from money. I think she owns either. I'm pretty sure her family owns all the flan in Oaxaca. But my homegirl, Beryl, right? Love her to death. Like, she cool as hell. Cool as the other side of the pillow. Yeah, me and Beryl go all the way back to the sandbox. But she was like, she got tired of all these goddamn commercials I was playing because I was trying to be cheap. And she's like, nah, motherfucker. Next time you stream, you better not have any commercials in there. I mean, she didn't type all of that, but that's how I read it in my mind. But anyways, she typed it all. But anyways, she ain't fucking here right now. I spent $14 goddamn on this shit.
Look, Beryl,
no commercials on there.
I'd be careful because Beryl is a G.
Oh, you know, me and Beryl went to prom together. We did.
Our families weren't talking at that point, you know. So
me and Beryl went to prom together, and to respect her community so much, and I appreciate because I raised around a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Mexican and Puerto Rican folks and stuff like that. We took a picture with I felt like it was inappropriate for me, being dark skinned as I am, to wear the old school Aztec headdress and hold her on top of a very steeple type of mountain and stuff like that. You know, well, have you ever been into a Hispanic old woman's house? I'm talking about you.
Me?
Yes, you.
No.
All right, this is why I know that joke kind of went flat for you, because every Hispanic woman, like my grandparent, like my mom's side of the family comes from Cuba, right?
Right.
But yet we still have we have a fucking plate from Chile that even represents us, but it's all, I think, from like not Hispanic, but like native Mexican, like I can't remember the fucking name, but the native ones, like the Aztec, it's like all the ones and shit like that in there. But one of the native ones. But it's like they all have that one like half naked woman with her titties out, and the other dude with a headdress like holding her like this on top of a mountain cliff, like this, posing. Yeah, me and Barrow took pictures like that on our prom day or whatever. I don't know why we did it. I felt like I was out of place, but hey, you know, I don't mind helping out. Those are my first time out there. And where's she from? Yeah, she comes from. Where's a really rich place from out there? Oh, we got our boy Coyote out here. What's happening?
What's up, John? John.
We got Mango. We got Mario.
I don't know where the rich place is in Beverly Hills. I mean, I know that's a rich place.
I mean, Yato's from her. Like, Yato wants to act like he's from the hood, man. But like, Yato's really from like Modesto and shit like
Modesto. That. Yato's from Fresno.
Nah, I'll give him benefit of the doubt. He's not a Fresno nigga.
It's definitely from Fresno.
If he was a little bit ashier, I would say he's from Bar. It's like if Yato was a little bit ashier around his elbows, I would say he's from like Barstow and shit like that. But... Oh man! Hey, first off, eventually, me and I'm just letting BGL know this right now, but everybody knows that Olafola does the thumbnails for all my shit and stuff like that. But eventually,
very amazing.
I've been wanting to have either a show or at least the opening or closing song of our show dedicated to our favorite Irish lass. Because anybody that knows me, I love islands, And my favorite European island is
Ireland.
Is Ireland, then right after that is Greenland. Not Greenland, but Iceland.
Iceland is not a European island.
It's in Europe, is it not? Or Scandinavia, I'm sorry.
Is Iceland considered a European country?
Scandinavian, all right. I'm sorry, all right. I'm sorry,
but I mean, like, Scandinavia is a part of Europe. Like the European continent.
Then yes.
I didn't know. I was asking.
No, I was giving you credit for being more critical on me. No, I was trying to get you to shut up because I thought you were just trying to say, like, no, you don't mean European, you mean Scandinavian. And I was like, yeah, that's what you mean. And you're like, no, I don't know if this is. I was trying to tell you to shut up because I was trying to make you sound smarter.
No, I was literally asking. No,
I know.
I don't need you to make me sound smart. What I need is the correct.
All right, let's get into the next video. God damn it, man. God damn it, I hate you so much.
But you're not going to get rid of me, so.
No, you do got a point there. But anyways, we're going to go in this. Anybody from Texas from here? Nobody?
Nobody?
I think this is in Texas.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Olafolo.
John.
That's crazy. I never even thought about that. All this time, like grade school, junior high, high school, world geography, world history. It never even occurred to me that Iceland was a European country. Jesus.
My goodness. Wow. I mean, what did they say about civil rights? Did they do like the Family Guy joke? Did they just say trouble ahead? It's like, uppity Negroes in 1964. Like,
oh God.
Oh, you know what I hated? Like, this is why I know I can relate to you a lot because like there's been many times that you said that you were the only black person in class, or maybe at one point probably the only black person in school. But didn't you used to hate? School, but close. Oh, there's been times where me and my brothers and my sister were like the only black family. Like we're the only black beings in a school. And whatever.
That's wild.
Like to a point where it got disgusting where like if like another black family showed up and they like so happened to be the opposite sex of either my sister or me, they'd be like, oh, you're about to get together, right? I'm like, I don't know this bitch. Like, what the fuck are you talking? I used to look at them like I'm trying to work over a stuttering problem in a weird ass growth spurt of like or whatever. Like I'm in third grade and I'm 5'9". Like that's concerning to me. I'm like I wear a size 10 shoe and I can't dribble worth a fuck. Like I feel like I'm garbage. Like
all right, here you are trying to worry about my relationships.
Back to Texas. But anyways, I think this video is from Texas because I feel like we just wanted to go back to our regular hits, not like the hits of what we've been watching, but you know, the hits of what people like. It's just us talking about random ass shit, right? So the next video is going to be, it's been well viewed before, but I have a feeling that you've never seen it.
Probably.
And I have a feeling some other people haven't seen it. But I feel like Olafola probably knows like 8 people from like from back in the day and shit like that. Because Olafola get it from the mud. I don't know if you know about that. She's the only Irish person that I know that gets it from the mud with black people and shit like that.
Well,
but this is a commercial for in 1985, a Jheri curl commercial.
Oh boy, I probably have seen it.
With the greasiest nigga I've ever seen in my whole life. But anyway, I need to turn this all the way up.
Look at how serious he looks. Oh, look at his lip.
St. Louis. That's what it was. St. Louis. First off, I want to say that she does not have a she does not have a Jheri curl. She just has like a straight up like perm and some tracks. But anyways,
I mean,
she's like, no, I just want you. I'm gonna play it back a couple seconds. Just when this starts right here, this scene, look at the two women, how they looking. Look what they're wearing, which are white shirts. Listen to me.
I know. I was literally thinking that.
Yeah, look how clean they are.
I was literally thinking
all
that.
I'm gonna say is keep your eyes open when they lock back in to that greasy ass nigga we about to see in a minute. So we about to go back. That's all I want to say. Don't yell at me, goddammit. But hey, I'm not gonna lie. 2750 ain't
2750. Oh God.
How long did it take to get a Jheri curl in?
A long time, because you had to put them roll. You had to put those little. You had to put your.
Did you ever have a Jheri
curlers? Huh?
Did you ever have a Jheri curl?
No, my sister.
No, I'm not.
I've seen many people get them. Because it's basically like you get a perm.
Hey, don't put your sister out like that, man. Like, don't get cuz out like that, man. She's a saint. Why you always gonna try to call her out like that, man? Because she make better potato. Because she make better potato salad than you.
I don't eat potato salad.
Neither do I, but she makes it with mustard and you make it with mayonnaise with your nasty ass.
I don't. Why would I make potato salad if I don't eat potato salad?
Because Amish. Never mind.
Amish?
No, there's.
That's why your upper lip looks like that.
I'll slap the hell out you, right? Have you ever seen my? How dare you disrespect me and say my lip look like Jheri? Like this nigga's hair.
You got a Jheri curl lip.
Look how greasy you look right here. Look how greasy this nigga look though. And he got the whole group of weirdos in the back, like my nigga on the base right here with the full-on suit, and I think he got a tie on.
And the serial killer stare.
This nigga got a
look at the way his eyes are.
This motherfucker got this motherfucker.
Whose church are they in?
No, what church basement they in?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
No, but this dude got a full-on velvet a crushed velvet onesie. He got a male romper on right now.
He's got the top tied in a knot.
Hey, you can but that don't even bother me. His fit don't bother me.
It's not really.
It's all this goddamn activator. It's all this goddamn activator he got in this motherfucker head.
Every hair on his body has activator on it.
He's a Temu Prince. Hey, Red Shot, you my boy, man. And we go all the way back to the sandbox, man. Please don't disrespect Prince like that, man. Come on, man. That's terrible. Oh, speaking about random people that died, I guess Tito Jackson died recently.
Yes, Tito Jackson died.
Did you see how many people were trying to like stand up for him, like, oh, rest in peace to a goat? I was like, and I kind of felt bad because I got family from Gary, Indiana, that where Michael Jackson, all them from. And I was like, yo, we don't rep the other Jackson, like we don't rep none of the other Jackson 5 like that at all. Like I've never heard a single motherfucker come out of nowhere and be like, no, man, you better not talk about Jermaine Jackson like that. Like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, get that fuck out my face. Like, who talking about?
Remember that one song Jermaine said, do what you do when you did what you did to me?
Hey, that's one of my favorite Chris Rock jokes. No, that's one of my favorite Chris Rock jokes. He's like, is it just me or is it Jermaine Jackson, the most greasiest nigga you ever seen in your life? And he had them finger waves and shit like that, like smooth on his head.
He wanted to be a pimp, but Joe said no. So he was gonna get the finger waves anyway. Press play.
He said, sorry, Tito, I never caused you any sorrow. I never caused you any pain. That's from the song, ain't it? Never caused you any pain. All right, now you
never meant to cause you any sorrow.
Hey, man, first off, Purple Rain. Hey, no, look, now you're getting me mad real quick. First off,
Killer.
Purple Rain is one of the best songs ever written in American history. Next to Me and the Devil Blues by Robert Johnson and Shoot 'em Up Bang Bang by Freaky Zeke from Diplomats. No, not really, but no, that like Prince is amazing. Like, I don't know, I might piss a lot of you people off real quick, but Prince is way better than Michael Jackson. I'm not fucking sorry. Let's go in this.
Oh my god!
Look how greasy this nigga look, man. Get your
Oh,
uncle.
just get that roll those papers, those oil papers.
No, but do you want to like?
Oh,
No, but
God.
honestly, honestly, this was made like before I was born. Like my oldest brother was born in 1986, right? I was born in 1989.
Jarrell Charles.
But do you know a young Tito Canoe went up to his ashy ass father? Well, he probably wasn't ashy. It was probably me ashy. But I was like, with his horrible stuttering problem, it was like, Dad. This was in like 1998. But we were super Christian. So I started listening to rap around like 1997, probably, or whatever. Maybe a little bit earlier, but like around 1997. But I was like, Dad, I want to look like this guy. Not him, but I had a picture of Eazy-E. And I was like, I want this hairstyle. And my dad slapped me as hard as he fucking could in the back of my head. Because I got a big ass knob in my back of my head. So, you know, you can really lift a kid off the ground with that shit. He's like, don't you ever ask for a Jheri curl, man. He's like, this ain't the 1980s. I was born in the wrong era because like there was two things I wanted in my life, but I wasn't born in the right era for. I wanted a Jheri curl and I wanted a pager. I never had those. Like I wanted a pager more than I wanted a Razor phone. I've never owned a Razor phone, but I've always wanted a pager.
I had a pager.
Did you have a clear one?
I lived through all of that.
No, what color was it though? Do you have a clear one, or you had that?
I had the
Radio
black
Shack,
one.
the Radio Shack black one.
Yeah, I had the black one, and I had the one that you could send the text message on. So I had the one that had the read the number on the top, and then I had the one that would scroll the message on the front of it.
Oh, I don't know all that. Those I only remember seeing one of them. It was a black Radio Shack one. I think it had 3 to 4 buttons on them on the top, and that was it. I was just mad because by the time I started getting older, and I had my own. You
can still get a pager now if you want, but you run the risk of being,
Who else has pagers besides like certain military members and doctors? Those are the only two motherfuckers that have them.
I mean, you can still get a pager.
Mari, you didn't have a pager. Olafola. You know what? I can actually see Olafola like pulling up in a skating ring with a pager on her hip though. You know, she's just rolling up at you with the song going, at night, I think of you. And she's like, oh. She just roll up right behind you, skating backwards and shit like that. Like, oh, hey, are you in line to order some pizza? No? Get out my fucking way. Be only the baby. No, don't get me.
Okay, this pause screen is gonna be my sleep paralysis demon.
No, look at it. No, that's about to be your sleep paralysis demon. Look, do you see this background right here? Charles. Like, first off, who's getting? No. All right.
I know. Speechless.
I'm going to go back a couple seconds, but no. To all you raggedy motherfuckers that I love to death, because all you guys been around, but all you raggedy motherfuckers that try to call me country. All you raggedy motherfuckers.
Whole ass.
No.
Like a cat.
All you raggedy motherfuckers that try to call me country, right?
and say like y'all heard me say words like shotgun house and shit like that and hootenanny. I don't know what other weird ass country words you hear. I think I got hootenanny from Olafilla. But anyways, ain't putting it on. But yeah, y'all kind of try to call me country. This is some country ass shit. Like Jarrell's that's spelled in fucking like those balloons that you get from Dollar General.
Oh,
2 R's and 2 L's and 2 L's with the small ass S. Like he just realized that it's plural, so I gotta slap that S up there.
Well, I get this whole thing just like gives me the feeling that they like did a 2-for-1 and they also like made a movie.
You're not even getting
like they made a movie and there was like they used this as like in the movie they were like used the scene as they were making the Jarrells, like they filmed the scene while they were painting Jarrell. Oh my god.
No, this is what I'm about to say. And this is where I know it's no fault of your own, but I can tell that you are country, but you're northern country.
Yeah,
like how how I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're Midwest country, which is a way different other country from southern like
yes.
Like all right. I want to let y'all know like all right.
It is so
people
different.
No, from there's really no joke from anybody that's not from, especially from like the Southeast, and especially certain places in the Southeast. Like certain states break off to their own fucking entity.
Mm-hmm.
Like Florida is its own fucking beast. Texas is kind of its own southern beast. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. Oh, I'll say Mississippi,
Louisiana's
Alabama.
its own self.
I'm gonna say
Alabama,
Mississippi, Georgia. Alabama, kind of share. Georgia, I will say, is getting a little bit more blue, so it's kind of switching. Because Georgia, you gotta have being in Georgia, you kind of gotta have cash to have fun. Like in Mississippi,
being in Atlanta, you gotta have cash to have fun, but outside of Atlanta, you may as well be anywhere else in the South, really.
Well, it depends. Like my favorite place in Georgia is Fayetteville. That shit's beautiful. Well, that's where all those rich uppity black folks stay at. My sister threw up in I think I said it before. My sister before I pulled up to go say what's up to her, we all met up in Georgia, but she threw up in Evander Holyfield's parking lot. Not parking lot, but his driveway. I was like, wow, thank you. I was like, wow, thank you, sis. And apparently he actually walked up to my dad's door and shit. But anyways,
wow.
No, but look what this nigga wearing though. He got a belt on with this male romper with the button wide open right here. What other extra air you getting right here? You know he ain't got no drawers on.
I don't want to know about that. It's just
all right, this might
you gotta keep playing.
Right. No, this is gonna sound gross, but it is this might be true. This man doesn't have no drawers on, right? This is what we're gonna imagine. So this nasty ass dude, like not him personally, but a nigga like him, got this activator dripping off his motherfucking skull all day, right? Rolling down he don't have abs. He's just been skinny his whole life, so he just has damn near 0% body fat. No, because y'all don't know that. Anybody that's been in the military or been around niggas that work out probably know what I'm talking about. Because they're some of the most cockiest motherfuckers. They're like, oh man, look at my abs right now. I'm like, dude. I'm like, it just look. It's like being around a nigga that does coke all the time, and he'd be like, "Look how skinny I am." But like, yeah, there's a reason, nigga. Like,
or being around a bodybuilder.
Certain bodybuilders. No, because like powerlifters are big. Have you ever seen a powerlifter? Like those dudes ain't like
powerlifters are lifters. I'm talking about body sculptor, bodybuilder.
Oh yeah, those dudes. Yeah, they
That
be
just
tanning
all
their
they do
bodies.
is look at
They be looking as
themselves
fucking
all
brown.
the
They be looking
fucking
like copper penny like and shit like that. Like a man.
time.
His name is
All the way
Johan
down to
Van.
the tops of their feet.
His name is Johan Vandersleet, coming from Norway, and he looks tan as a like fuck from a nigga from Jamaica. He comes out there.
Oh my
No, he be
god.
coming there posing. No, but I do like the strongman competitions though. Like when they be picking up big shit and all that stuff. Anyways, we're supposed to be doing something with the show, but never mind. We just went. Arsenium, what's going on, man? How you doing? It's been a long time no see. Random question for you. I don't know what the short version of Arsenium is. RX. Do you play Magic the Gathering? I don't know if we ever crossed that before. Look how greasy he looked though. Look how greasy he got the Superman swirl. He got that Luther. He got that fat Luther curl.
Oh my god.
Never too much, never too much. Or
Never too much, never too much, never too much.
No, it's not never too much. That's that. No, you know what curl that is? This is the perfect one. It's from this song, from this infomercial. Here and now, I promise to love faithfully. That looked just like it. Yo, that's wild. Like, first off, these are cocaine hours.
8 a.m. to midnight. Oh my god.
No, how long did it take anybody? Like, I know we got some OGs with us.
It
How
takes
long
a couple
did it take?
hours. It takes a few hours to put those in.
Not 8 a.m. to midnight though. That's like 14 hours. Like
that's exploitation hours.
It's not even the hours. Like the days are what tripping me. Tuesday through Saturday, they seem like
most hair salons are not open on Mondays and Sundays. Even now,
I hate
most hair salons are not open on Sundays.
Why Mondays? Like that might be a mini rant right now, but why Mondays? That's
I don't know.
Very fucked up.
Like it's just traditionally most hair salons are not open on Mondays.
Actually, you might be right because there was a barbershop we used to go to in the small country hood place that I grew up in. Like it was ran by a mom and her son, and her son would do the haircuts. I mean, and she would do haircuts too, but she'll mainly do hairstyles for women. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, don't rush me. But like just like what you were saying, like,
who's
like
rushing
the mom would, like I forgot where I was going with this, but the mom will show up a little bit later. But yeah, like you were saying though, it takes a lot longer, and there's a lot more variables to fuck up with a woman's hair than it is with a. Depends on what you're doing, because it's. Like you really kind of got to go out. Like once you learn how to do a rap like 4 times, once you've seen how to do a rap like 4 times, especially if you're doing it for one specific person, you should not be fucking up. Especially the way you brush the woman's fucking hair. All right, never mind. That's about to be on a whole personal black person level of a complaint.
Just 27.50.
Oh, that's really greasy. I mean, 27.50 ain't too bad though. It seemed like coming with a coupon too. But like, all right, I love black people. I love being black, but when the fuck did you ever think a Jheri curl was ever going to be practical in life? Besides when you run out of fucking oil in your car.
Look, Jheri curls got it going on.
Where they do?
Jheri curls got it going on. If I was to put a chemical process in my hair, I'd get a Jheri curl. I just don't like the way they smell.
You wouldn't. You would not. I don't even know how they smell, but I know you would not. you would not want to keep your hair that constantly goddamn greasy.
I
I
wouldn't
know
keep
you
it
wouldn't.
that greasy.
You have to,
I would
damn near.
manage. I would manage it better than that. I wouldn't keep it.
No, because you're if you try to manage it a little bit, it's gonna get that weird type of dry where you look like your name should be Ethel May and you were born in like 1938.
But that's okay because I
No,
can pull
no,
it
no,
off because it's like
no.
because you end up looking natural. You end up looking
no, you
natural.
don't. Well, you kind of no, you don't. No, you kind of do, but you kind of don't. This might sound racist, but it's actually kind of true. When black women try to go their hair natural back in the 80s after they've been doing weird ass perms or conks, like if you know what conks are, if you're from like the 1960s, or weird ass processes like this, you get the hair like how country ass
processed frizzy.
No, it gets processed frizzy like how if any white women out here, how you call your mama, where they get a perm, like black people when they get a perm, their hair goes straight. But like when you, like for white people when they mama gets a perm, it gets super fucking curly and kind of disgusting. That's what she got right now. Like if she has some horned rim glasses and a fucking faded glory moo on right now, or a 3X t-shirt, she will look like a mama right now from West Virginia.
Mari, it's an activator spray that it's like a moisturizing spritz spray that you're supposed to spray on your hair to keep it
like pump it
very, very moist, and that's why we were laughing at how shiny and greasy the guy was, because that's like one of the problems with the Jheri curl is that activator spray, it's so greasy and it just
it's literally a fire hazard.
It gets all over your clothes. It gets on your pillow when you sleep, and it smells horrible. It's gross. That's what the worst part about a Jheri curl is, the activator, and then
hey, first off, I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you
in your hair to. It's so gross.
I'm gonna let you keep disrespecting one of my favorite hairstyles of all time. For some weird reason, I like a mullet as well. Maybe because I know I can't grow a mullet out. Like once I met John and I realized there was a person that actually can grow a perfect mullet out. That's why I try so hard for him to be my friend. And I forgot where I was gonna go with this. But anyway, let's keep on playing this bullshit. Because I have a lot of bullshit in ass shows, and we're probably not gonna get actually into the real meat and potatoes of this stream. Because really, because she's
because you keep pausing after 2 seconds.
Because I've been drinking. Look how sad that sign looked right
now.
No, this is my favorite
building.
Yo, this is my favorite part though in this commercial though. Is there's been juke joints I used to go to down in fucking. There used to be juke joints in like Bathfield, Mississippi, Richmond, Mississippi, fucking like random ass parts in like New Orleans that look just like this. Like they ain't got no windows. They ain't got no windows, or like if they do have windows, they were shot out decades ago and shit like that. But they used to be the most fun. Yeah, like, and I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the first places I ever felt kind of racist against my own people. Is like you never know how truly hot it is until you get like 90 to 105 niggas in one small group place. And goddamn, it's hot. And no, but honestly, like
we need a thumbnail.
I wanted to say this though. I wanted to say
this. We need a thumbnail with this building, with our faces on this building.
Oh, Jarrell's? Hell yeah, that's gonna be our first t-shirt.
We need a thumbnail of us walking into Jarrell's.
When I seen this right here, I was like, it looked like my dad got me as a kid when I was really into like spray paint. And somebody's like, hey, write your uncle name on the side of the wall right here. You like this shit? I'm like, I don't want to do it today. Just write it.
J A capital R.
Oh, here we go.
Here
All
we
right,
go.
so if y'all don't remember the last time we showed up, it was about like a good 3 to 5 months or I don't
Years
know.
ago.
But we were
Was it
talking
last
about
week, the week
we were
before?
talking about a movie called Dressed in the Black. Or no, Divorce in the Black.
Divorce in the Black.
It was some shitty ass Tyler Perry movie. And because Netflix and Tyler Perry are both hoe ass niggas, and will probably flag us for pulling up scenes from their shows or whatever. That's why I always just play like the fucking or just have still shots or just mainly the trailer playing. This is probably the best reenactment I've ever seen in my life. If you guys can possibly remember, there's a part where if y'all remember how that dude, me and that girl from New Orleans said, the dude with the sugar bush, he shows up Dallas, and he legit shows up at a Piggly Wiggly, and I had a look in the background. They're at a Ralph's. Ralph's is what? Ralph is like what? Southeast?
I have no idea. I've never heard of Ralph's.
I think Ralph
sounds
is
like it's expensive.
No, Ralph is no Southeast is Duke's. No, that's mayonnaise.
Dukes is
No,
me.
Publix. Yeah, Publix.
No, John,
You got Publix.
never. Tyler Perry
No, but-
never made a good movie. Not one time.
No,
He never
I
even came close.
you know
Don't
what?
give him any credit.
I will actually give him.
None.
I will give him credit. Only give him one, honestly, and like because I don't want to hate on him. Like I don't
mind hating on him. I don't mind it at all.
No, I like to hate on him, but I don't hate him per se. Like I hate a lot of his politics. I hate all of his politics. I hate that he
motherfucker told women to date a man if all he can do is pay the light bill. That's good enough for a woman. Like fuck him. Fuck him and all of his work.
I do hate the nigga. I do hate the nigga.
Everything.
I hate him.
Flush him down the toilet.
No, I hate him because he's fucking lazy and he's very pro cop. No, but this is what it was where when Dallas met up with at the Piggly Wiggly at the mom, and oh my god, this shit was so motherfucking funny.
This shit is hilarious.
This nigga first off, this nigga popped up in the
cooler.
He came up the frozen peas section real quick. I'm sorry.
See you come to the market every Tuesday like clockwork. You not gonna say anything?
No. Actually, I'm not.
Kind of like a bitch, like your daughter.
Keep your eye on this woman right here. That's all I'm gonna ask that. Keep your eye on this woman right. Oh damn it!
Watch your mouth. I'm a woman of God. Oh, you're crazy. I never noticed that. I never noticed that.
That's my favorite part in the whole fucking thing. And also, I want to say, we paused it right here perfectly. I just want to say that, goddamn, that's actually a really good price for Doritos. It's $2.69. They're like $4, $4 to $6. They're like $4 to $6.
Get your hands off me! Run and tell your husband that shit. You fool! You crazy! You fool!
I can't believe they actually let these people do that in this grocery store. Like, that's the best part about this whole clip.
Oh, it sounds like you never
store was in on it. Like,
it sounds like you never worked at like a real service place before, where you just don't give a fuck. You'd be like, hey, are you knock anything over? No. Okay, cool. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm about to go on break.
I know, but there's just so many TikTokers now.
Yeah, right. No, they really.
Always
that's what I'm
do
saying.
Something,
Yeah, that's why I think they usually are though. Like, oh, brother, do this. Like, are you gonna fuck with anybody? Like, all right, no. Like, are you gonna break anything? Cool. All right, cool. All right, just go ahead and do it real quick. My girl's right behind her. That white woman right behind her. That oh damn it, I missed it.
Leaning over.
You looking at?
You can tell this nigga's a villain for real because he has a jean jacket on. And possibly California. That is the most disgusting shit I've ever seen in my life. And I do give him respect because it looked like he pulled the cheapest shit that he can grab and just threw it on the ground. Oh, all right. This next video, it doesn't have to deal with anything. I just feel like one person reminds me of Red Shot for some weird reason. And that's why I just wanted to pull it on. So I hope you guys are ready to see a video from like 1958 or 1960s. It's called the best boy ever. Dancer boy ever. The Nitty Gritty.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to present our dancers with their interpretation of the nitty gritty.
The way he said that, like when I first heard it, I really thought he was gonna say nigga. For some weird reason, I thought he was gonna say that shit. The nigga gritty.
Nigga.
I'm like, what? Like, I'm sorry. Keep your eye on
It's
Red
that
Shot
guy
right
in the front
here.
that looks like Red Shot. I knew it.
Keep
It
your
was
eye on
the
this
hair.
nigga right here. Because this nigga right here, all right, so like that's why we got the same sense of humor. This nigga right here, like everybody else came over here just like, oh, we're gonna show you a little bit of our dance. And this nigga right here was like, no, I'm about to show you some real shit. This nigga wasn't bullshit. You know, if this was back in the day, if the real singer showed up right now, they'd all throw up in front of her or something, like, because they didn't know it was like a black woman and shit. It was like Big Mama Thornton or something.
She'd have to go sing from behind the curtain.
This is back in the days where the movie Hairspray came in. And like, I wish every day was Negro Day. Go Red Shot! Look at him go. Does that make? Is that just me? Like, is that just me, or is that
like that, Red Shot?
No? But is that just me, or is that Red? I'm not even trying to make it as a joke. I just feel like Red Shot can dance like this. I just feel like it is. Is this not Red Shot to like as soon as I seen this, I was like, this is Red Shot right here.
This is so Red Shot. Red
They
Shot
even
would
zoom in.
Red
You see
Shot
this?
would
They
even
even
put on a tuxedo to dance for this.
with the
Bow tie and
fucking
everything.
with the Nation of Islam bow tie on. Like, they even zoom in on this nigga though.
Bow, 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 bow.
He wasn't fucking around right there, man. Like, I watched this like 8 times a day, and for some reason I was like, this is Red Shot right here for some weird reason.
8 times a day. That's hilarious.
Oh man. But anyways, to our next video. I hope you guys are really enjoying these short ass videos, mainly because y'all noticed that we have no commercials and Barrel's not here, so I'm pissed. I loaded this up with nothing but fucking
videos.
Yeah, I loaded the first half with nothing but goddamn commercials, and she's not fucking here. God damn it. Oh, the next one is just my favorite freestyle of all time. You want to hear it? It's only like 15
Fascinating
seconds.
that Red Shot is immortal and he stays a child.
I mean, yeah, he got that young face.
Fuck with. I ride around with long gats and clips. I chop shit, pop shit, pop a bitch your crib. I got him, spot him, red dot him,
Got him.
hot him,
Him.
on him. Fuck it, let's have a party.
Party.
Bad bitches sip lean and pop mollies. I don't pop mollies, niggas. I pop hollows.
All right, I'm about to play this back again real quick because y'all don't appreciate real rap. Y'all don't. Everybody know I fuck with like people like Kendrick Lamar. Really, Schoolboy Q's my favorite out of TDE. Everybody knows I fuck with people like Kid Cudi and all that stuff, most stuff. But no, this is real rap right here. And I just want you to look at my nigga Sway face right here this whole time. Because they should have gave this nigga an Oscar because he was trying to make this look like this the meanest shit in the world.
I ride around with long gats and clips. I chop shit, pop shit, pop a bitch your crib. I got him, spot him, red dot him, hot him, on him. Fuck it, let's have a party. Bad bitches sip lean and pop mollies. I don't pop mollies, niggas. I pop hollows. Pussy nigga, I don't. I got on gold headphones, gold chain, gold on my wrist. If you ain't getting money, boy, you lame.
Real rap is back, baby. Real rap is back. One more time for everybody that can't listen.
Fuck with. I ride around with long gats and clips. I chop shit, pop shit, pop a bitch your crib. I got him, spot him, red dot him, hot him, on him. Fuck it, let's have a party. Bad bitches sip lean and pop mollies. I don't pop mollies, niggas. I pop hollows. Pussy nigga, I don't. I got on gold headphones, gold chain, gold on my wrist. If you ain't getting money, boy, you lame.
Real shit, man. Real rap is back, baby.
Shit. Boy, you lame.
Real rap is back. All right, so anyway, before what's the next thing? Never mind. It's just another random ass video I really used to enjoy back in like 2012. But we don't even have to watch this one. It's an old nigga just telling a story. It was funny to me because I always watch them when I'm high. If any of you sober people, it probably won't make any sense.
What's up, Hannibal?
What? Hannibal's here.
Will Metcalf.
Man, we made it to the big time. Hannibal's here. The best person out of nowhere. You know, I'm Team Hannibal. I don't know about you guys, though, but I've always been Team Hannibal, man. Like, because I don't have that much sage and shit like that to burn in my house to be like Team fucking Monty and shit like that. And I don't wear... Like, we got a lot of twigs and shit like that outside, like outside my apartment complex, so I can't walk that much barefooted and stuff. You know, I'm from the concrete jungle, baby.
Concrete jungle.
Oh, I just want you to listen to this video. It's only like 45 seconds long, but it's one of my favorite videos. But please, I don't know if you hung around with like a lot of... First off,
boy, you lame.
Don't ever disrespect the best.
Hannibal, what can you do with that? What can you do with that work?
That's too much fire. Like, you know what?
Fire.
Hannibal's like no, like I mean, try to like mess with him. Like he's a really good beat maker and everything like that.
Hannibal's the real deal.
But can he handle that much fire? Can he handle that much fire? That's 43 seconds of straight. This is 43 seconds of nothing but straight Jiffy
Go
corn
headphones, go chains.
cornbread oven mix. Like this is 375 type of
This
fire
is
right
Jiffy
here.
honey cornbread.
But anyways, this is an old nigga talking shit. Like we about to go in this one. All this dude does, like the guy passed away or whatever, but this is still one of my favorite videos. It's just like I don't know why it's fun. It must be a country thing or whatever because this is like the most random fucking story I've ever heard in my life.
There
You
goes the
literally
boss of the
curated all these
operation.
videos under a minute.
My father, Larry Wayne Petty Sr. Walking like he old. What's wrong with him? You're on
Who's
camera. Say
breathing like
something.
that?
Last night and night before, there was 3 women walking down the street that way. I saw them. I said, hey, you 3 women, why are y'all walking down the street that way? There's nothing down there. And they flew away. I said, oh, them was some birds.
I'm sorry, that's funny to me. Like, like it's funny to me because like I've met so many drunk, like and I'm not saying he's drunk, but I've met some random ass country niggas. Like, damn it, I can never beat the country allegations. I met so many country motherfuckers that just tell you a story like that, and then for some reason it's the funniest shit. Like I don't know, maybe because the whole aesthetic.
Because they get you. They get you. It seems so legit because they're good storytellers. They just suck you right in and then
there's some birds. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, yo. Oh shit. Well, I just wanted to share that with you, man. And you guys know I always like to share random videos I've been watching for like 8 to 10 years. What we got next? All right, now we're about to I guess we're about to get serious.
Why do you don't like me, Daddy?
All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure the 2 women that I wanted to piss off the most real quick are here in here.
See this?
So
you see this?
I know most of my viewers are women, and I do appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate anybody that watches this bullshit that I do.
But especially
or whatever. Me and BGL do. But really I'm only schooling her right now is because I never like to anger not only my co-host, but a really good friend of mine.
Do. Yes, you do.
I also really never want to piss off like my the artist that does my thumbnails and stuff like that. Besides this one right here, because I gave her way too less of a fucking notice before we were about to go live or whatever, but and do stuff like this. But they know, I even know that they both hate a certain movie. I'm pretty sure that neither one of them watched, but they just know that I have a lot of ties to it, and we're about to get into it. We're gonna
Fola.
BGL probably might not make a lot of jokes. Olafola probably might not make a lot of jokes. I'm pretty sure Nova probably won't make a lot of jokes or whatever. But damn it, I'm gonna fit some jokes in where they are. They're probably not gonna be really well matched off or whatever, but we'll try to make some light into it. But I feel like we should play this video because it's actually very informative. It's from the YouTuber guy Lil Bill. It's called Black Boys Are Cursed. And it got my guy Denzel Washington in the role that he asked my dad to, hey, can I play you for 3 hours? Fences. But it's not just this, but it's around this whole video.
This video is brought to you by...
All right, never mind. We ain't ready for ads. But no, granted to him, though, Lil Bill does... the only ads that he really ever does do, he's from Philly, is basically collecting, doing backpack drives for kids in the hood and shit like that. Oh no, I was like, how are you laughing at that shit? Oh, I'm sorry. I knew it was yo. This is why I knew I had to play this video when I knew how much it pissed off Olafola. And I was like, all right, I got eventually got to play this shit. And I was like, this is gonna piss her off. But then I realized how much it pissed you off too. I was like, God damn. right, let me get past. All right, Curse of the Black Fatherhood. Let's get in this. This is my boy Lil Bill.
This is the video where I had to learn what the word hegemony meant.
And I fuck with a lot of shit that he says. The only thing I don't fuck with him with is that he's an Eagles fan. But granted, he is from Philly though.
She was considered high risk for the duration of the pregnancy, and so instead of just checking into the local hospital that was literally around the corner from where,
sorry, I jumped right in the middle of a story.
Crash unit is what I'm saying, with like 10 times the efficacy. Again, go to the link in the description and give a couple dollars to help some kids in need today, man. All right, let's go ahead and get to what y'all really came here for.
Hey, actually, I gotta rewatch Moonlight though. Moonlight is actually a really good fucking movie. Well, it's beautifully shot. It's the most beautiful, because like I give Moonlight so many props because it makes Florida look like a good place to go visit. Or whatever. That's like the main reason why it's a beautifully shot movie. And it's really good. Like, I don't know. Like it I guess it kind of introduced me to kind of like know more about I guess it's gonna kind of sound wrong, but like it introduced me to know more about gay people and stuff like that. Because like I will openly say, like, a lot of people have a hard time saying that online, but until I started doing stream or actually really even going into Discord, so like I was very ignorant on certain shit. Like I wasn't bigoted or nothing like that. Like I had no hatred for gay or trans or any people. I just knew I was very ignorant on like facts and shit like that, or even you know how they move around. But like luckily, especially even in the military, even before then, like I got to go around and even in different states and meet different people and shit like that. I'm not saying so that anybody should go into the military to go witness shit like that, especially not in the military. You shouldn't do that. But this movie kind of introduced me to a lot of other stuff though. But Moonlight's a really good fucking movie though.
On the night of June 13, 2018, my wife went into labor for the first time. Due to a number of different health issues that I don't care to get into, she was considered high risk for the duration of the pregnancy. And
damn it!
Instead of just checking into the local hospital that
I drink all my mead
around the corner from where we lived at the time, we made the drive to Hospital University of Pennsylvania at like 1 a.m. All
right, I'm gonna let this play. I'll be right back.
9-ish and a half hours later, my first child was born, my son Joseph. 2 years prior to that, the Academy Award winning film Moonlight was released, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really get the hype. Sorry. Like, considering how much was made about how much this film challenges ideas of black male sexuality, I don't know, man. I think I was just expecting more than the old-fashioned by beachside Moonlight, which, not gonna lie, does sound pretty nice, actually. Point being, I knew 1 or 2 DL dope boys growing up. I also knew kids with abusive parents. As I've said in the past, I have been abused myself. I have several former drug addicts and drug dealers in my family. None of this was new or shocking or challenging to me, like, at all. Honestly, I felt like all the hype was just based on the fact that white people didn't know that gay gangsters existed in the hood. And as we always say on this channel, it doesn't exist until white people learn about it for themselves. So that was my impression.
I'll even pause that right there real quick though. I kind of agree with him, but I even think that black people didn't even know that gay gangsters were around until fucking Omar from The Wire came around. You get what I'm saying? Do you ever watch The Wire? Like, honestly, I won't lie. Like, and it's like, I'm pretty much of an open book because like I've learned a lot in many of my years and shit, like mainly from what my mom always told me when I was younger. He said, meet new people, learn different shit or whatever. Mainly she said about food. Because when I was young in country and shit like that. And my favorite food was fucking turkey knuckles or burritos. And my mom, literally on her deathbed, she was like, try different food. She's like, go to different places and try different foods, or meet different people and try their food. She's like, even if you don't like it, just fucking try it. You know, just so you can have a different fucking experience. You know what I'm saying? I forgot where I was gonna tie this in with.
Of the movie at first glance. Then I watched it again a few months ago, and it was the first time that
He said, my question was, what makes it exclusive to black people and what you call toxic masculinity? I probably won't do it the best justice right now, but certain things about like black people is mainly black Americans. Well, not even black Americans now, because it can kind of change into even like black if you want to deal with more religion type of shit like that, because a lot of people from America go to Africa and shit like that and put a lot of like super evangelistic fucking practices in Africa and shit like that, kind of charges up them. But black masculinity in America sometimes is like a lot of black men, like I'll just say mainly from my experience, like my dad, he would try to have a lot of black men that I knew. This is me personally, so anybody else, if you guys had different experience or whatever, you guys can say it in there. But a lot of the men that I grew up with, like they would try to have the same masculinity, or they will try to have the same like proper masculinity as basically you're trying to copy as white men. You kind of want to have like the same white power structure, or live under the same white power structure, or the hierarchy as what is dealt, like what has been made in America. But then it gets kind of rough when you're in black spaces, because you're trying to like, because sometimes it almost ends up into being like, that's when you start learning shit like code switching and learn how to speak well. Sometimes like can kind of poison the well that, or only going into white schools because you think that's quote unquote the best schools, or learning how to dress a certain way and shit like that too. I might be dragging on into a lot of different stuff though too. My bad. But like it doesn't make it exclusive to it. It's just Mari is like especially looking at like America, because America is nothing but a nation that was built off of immigrants. Basically, all we did, I was just say we because I'm an American and shit like that too. But basically, what Americans kind of did, you can get mad at me you want, but native, like it's it's not bad, but it's kind of crazy when Vikings can show up into North America way before fucking English people could show up here. Only have one or two run-ins with Native Americans here, then just like, hey, fuck it. We don't understand our language. We don't know what the fuck they're mad about. We're just not gonna fuck with them no more. And basically never came back over here no more. But for some reason, fucking bullshitting ass dude that couldn't tell it, this bullshitting ass Italian motherfucker named fucking Christopher Columbus wanted to find a different way that he thought was shorter, even though it was proven wrong even at that time, because they can understand math to a certain fucking extent that you couldn't go across to go find fucking India, but they didn't know there's been a whole fucking like continent in the goddamn way. He just tried to go the other way, and then he landed in San Dumang, which is basically Dominican Republic / Haiti. And that's when he landed in there, and he was like, "Oh no, you guys are Indian." He was like, "Man, no, they weren't fucking Indian. They were can't remember the tribe right now, but they were the native Hispanic tribe that's also in Mexico, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and all of them and stuff like there. But yet they killed them all off because of disease and exposure and slavery. Then they're like, all right, let's just bring a fuckload of Africans here." I forgot where I was low into that. I just want to say
was brought at least close to tears by a movie since, hell, I don't know, Coco. Yeah, man, I don't care who you are. If you don't get
Hey, Coco's a good ass movie, man. I ain't watched that whole movie, but this part right here
That
is
movie
good.
didn't make me cry.
I actually didn't watch this whole movie. Like, I actually haven't watched the whole movie. I just only watched the. If anybody knows me, when I start getting drunk, I only like to watch the songs. But I do want to learn the "Remember Me" song in Spanish. Oh shit!
Look what you did.
I seen Toon Day. We're right around here.
point of Moonlight the first time around. And the reason I missed it was because the movie was really about me, even if I didn't realize it. I was Chiron in some aspects. And in some ways, still am Chiron. And probably would be forever if I never became a father. Actually, if I never became a father, I probably would have been Corey from Fences. Matter of fact, there's an argument to be made that
God damn. All right. I can't wait until he goes into Fences.
Okay, keep going.
I'm sorry. I just got so many problems with this goddamn movie. I was like,
hey, I'm still Corey.
Especially this fucking part right here. I was with Viola Davis this whole fucking movie. This whole 2 hours and almost 30 minutes. That, like, this part that he's showing in the background is the fucking end. And she almost became as goddamn evil as fucking Denzel Washington in this fucking movie. If I'm wrong, I'll explain it later of why I feel that way. And if I'm wrong, please state your fucking evidence and shit why. But she got fucking evil at that fucking
Corey from Fences. And that's why 8 years ago, I felt like Fences got robbed by Moonlight. Okay, so I think it's important to set up a little backstory, some lore, as the kids call it these days. My dad was very much a part of my life. He is one of the biggest reasons why I am the way that I am today, for better or for worse. When I talk about the diet hoteps in my family, 7 out of 10 times I'm talking about my pops. He's the nigga that doesn't eat pork or red meat, even though he doesn't go to mosque or church. Whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? He had an Elijah Muhammad portrait in his living room at one point, and once gave me a copy of Malcolm X's autobiography for like my 7th or 8th birthday. Like, all I wanted was some Pokemon cards, man. Damn. Also, I think he and my grandma, by extension, might be the biggest reason why I never actually dated a white girl, even if, I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of want to a couple of times in very specific instances. Please forgive me.
Got your boy right there peeping on. Hit the one.
He's
I
next.
beg your pardon.
He's saying Jay-Z's next? No. Big Papa
I'm actually
Tunde's next.
You know what's so weird? I'm surprised that he's the guy. Like, I'm really surprised he hasn't really, like, because he's not really like that high up on the radar and shit like that. Like, but I'm really surprised he hasn't got caught up on the shit that he really does and shit like that.
I know. Like, he's like,
the only thing that's saving him is that he's not that popular. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he's so terrible.
No, he's popular. He's popular with the niggas that wear them Dave Chappelle hats, like them little fucking newsboy hats and shit like that. That talk about pyramids all the goddamn time and shit.
Oh my god!
They no, because they all talk like your uncle that just came freshly out of prison like 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Look, my brother.
Yes.
I told you. I read the encyclopedia, and they try to tell you. What do you see in all these pages? So like, I see nothing but words. Like, was off the old, was off the old like In Living Color things. Like, what do you see on this book? Like, there's none but words. Words written with black ink on white paper. Think about it, my brother. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Get out my fucking face! Like, what the hell are you talking about?
My white queen. Oh my god. Black
Like,
ink on white paper. Oh Jesus.
no, because I get mad because sometimes people like no, because people will still cape for this nigga. You be like, man, he speaks some. He like no, they really do
Yeah,
exactly.
they say some
No,
stupid shit.
no, they
well, he's
do.
not wrong about everything. He's not
No,
wrong about
no.
everything.
This is what it is. Like this is what it is, and like people are gonna get mad at, like probably even get mad at me or just mad at like what I say. Like I don't give a fuck because I know I've been drinking, but it's exactly how I fucking feel. They say exactly what cult members and extremely either mainly right or even mainly like even some weirdly left-leaning people say they will stick to exactly what you think. But honestly, like every lie has a little bit of truth. Like, granted, he does say some shit with a little bit of truth, but then that's when he starts sneaking his weird ass bigotry in there and shit like that. He'd be like, oh man, he's like, the I'm trying to think of something that that Tunde will probably say. I like calling him Tunde now, but or Cookie Crusher, but like either one. But I like what he's like Tunde will be like, oh, the prison and pipeline thing is a real thing. He's like, but no, it's even realer than that. The Democrats are trying to change your kids trans. I'm like, where the fuck are you getting this shit from, nigga? And this is like,
God.
No, and this is the shit that that pisses me off about niggas like him, especially this fucking greasy forehead. This like semi greasy foreheaded nigga like him. I hate any nigga like this because you're basically on the same level as Coon as like a Clarence Thomas or what's that nigga's name? Byron Donald or what's his name? Byron Donaldson or Tim Scott is bad. No, not as bad as what's the name from North Carolina. Now that I got caught. I wanted to pull that shit up. This is what he wrote in that black porn site. Nate Robinson. I'm not Nate Robinson. That's a basketball player. But that one nigga though. Yeah, he got caught up with all this shit. Like he's really into women pissing on him and shit like that. The fucking dude that's running for governor and shit like that, and openly saying that he's a fucking Nazi.
Oh.
Yeah, he said he wanted to. He's like,
no.
He said, I wish I would have joined a clan back in them days. They didn't allow black people. He's like, if I would have joined a clan back in them days, I'm paraphrasing, but this basically said he's like, I would have called MLK Martin Lucifer Coon. I was like, first off, that doesn't make any literary sense, so I'm mad at you about that. And two, I was like, I don't get like this. That's the funniest shit to me is when extremely right-leaning people. It's like when you find that one dude that's always that short ass smiling nigga that sells pancakes nowadays. Like he'll over there and try to tap dance for white Republicans and stuff like that. And he'll be like, oh, or the Hodge twins, or aka the brother sexuals, is like to call them. They'll try to cape for fucking racist white folks and shit like that, and then they look fucking stupid and shit.
Trailed
they
so
are
far off point.
No, they are brother sexuals. I'm sorry. Granted, y'all know I'm from a broken home. I've never been that damn close to my motherfucking brothers, but I have yet to ever see a video when they're not nut to butt to each other. The only reason why I say nut to butt is that's the way we used to have to line up in the military because you're in a limited space, so you always have to be very close. So they always say nut to butt. So they're always close. Have you ever seen a picture with them at least 3 feet away from each other?
No.
They're like 48 years old. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm like,
yuck.
But anyways, I digress. We buried
John, I have been enjoying.
I get why they put marshmallows on the yams sometimes. The other part of it was the whole fetishization thing that I experienced in college, but I've already.
On a random note, after we get done with this, I'm probably gonna watch like 3 or 4 songs from the movie Prince of Egypt for some random reason.
talked about in another video. Go
probably
look at my
into some
catalog,
mushrooms.
boost my views. Why don't you? Third grade was the first time I had.
Oh,
went
I'm
to
rolling
school
up a
with
blunt
white
right
kids,
now.
and I
I ate
almost
all my
immediately
edibles.
developed a crush on this
Shut
little
up.
white brunette girl named Stephanie. Now that was bad enough, but then I had the impudence, the audacity, the freaking gated gall.
I know I'm pausing right here, but I do blame my dad about that. My dad used to like, and I'm not trying to blame everything on my fucking father or whatever, but it's just so fucking weird about certain shit this nigga did. Like when I was growing up, it's like when we were growing up, my dad was one of those type of niggas. Like we were school of choice type of people. Like we had to get the lottery and shit like that, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Or either a lottery, depending on what city we were in, or just signing up very early, like first come, first serve. And because my dad grew up with that meaning of, even though we were like smart or whatever, because my mom, you know, she was a smart woman or whatever, but she used to be like worked at like old folks' homes and shit like that. But then she got sick with cancer and shit like that, so she mainly started like homeschooling us at one point. And like we were smart kids, but my dad was one of those type of niggas that like believed like only white schools will make you smart.
Mm-hmm.
So we started going to those type of schools and shit like that. Like he was like that type of nigga right there, like thinking like your proximity to whiteness will basically validate your success, which kind of makes sense, but not really. Like it's such a weird old school way of fucking, like not even bigotry. It's like it's such an old school way of fucking thinking. It doesn't make sense.
That's what my parents were.
And it was also mad because like they will never acknowledge like capitalism or anything else in that type of way either. Like they're like, no, it's just all the white man. I'm like, granted, kind of, but not really. Like
to befriend the bluest and blondest white.
No, but honestly, my dad used to be super fucking racist until my brother married a half white ass, half Mexican girl. So up until the age I was like 17, my dad used to scare the fuck out of. Like, he would send us to white schools, then get mad at me when I was a kid when I didn't, like, have a girlfriend or whatever. He'd be like, why don't you talk to none of them white girls and shit like that? I'm like, when that Kobe Bryant shit first came out with that weird-ass case or whatever, like, granted, like, I don't know, he was what, voted or whatever. It was said that he was not guilty, but it was a weird-ass case. Like, I'm not taking any sides of it. But I still remember to this day, my dad was like, this is why I tell y'all not to date white girls. Because if they ever get mad at you, they will scream rape. And that weirdly freaked the fuck out of me about it, whatever. Because I never wanted to go into jail. Because, like, when I was a kid, my dad always said, if you ever go to jail or in holding for some reason, I'm just going to fucking leave you there. And, like, shit like that was happening. And then, like my dad had these weird ass views for no reason. Like it wasn't based on anything. It was just like weird ass bigotry and shit like that.
White boy you could think of named Kevin, with whom I shared a mutual love for all things Steve Irwin related. So both my dad and my grandma's response was to shuttle me to an impromptu trip to what I thought was going to be the Baltimore Harbor, and instead turned out to be the Great Blacks and Wax Museum in the same city.
Damn, that's fucked up. The city I grew up in, we have an African American museum kind of like this. It kind of has like no, this one's more up to date. We have like well, I haven't been to that other one since I was a fucking teenager when we had to go there for a field trip. But yeah, they always get that slave shit fucking retcon for you right there. Like, God damn it.
Those of y'all who know already know where this is going. Now, the admittedly not so historically accurate giant wax effigy of Hannibal Barca crossing the Alps on an elephant that awaits you when you walk in aside, there really isn't too much in there that my 8-year-old self would consider traumatizing. Well, I mean, that is if you don't count the human zoo exhibit upstairs or the Klansman with noose in hand chasing 2 wax children about my size and complexion up there as well.
Yeah, that's horrifying. Why the fuck would you have that?
Well, or the plethora of antebellum torture devices that lie all around the museum. Or, of course, the full model slave ship, complete with one nigga being force-fed what I can only...
Is that Waldo? Two niggas with Waldo. Goddamn.
...describe as plaster. And in the ship, even more torture and restraining devices. And, of course, around the ship, a school of sharks swimming amidst half-eaten black bodies is even more being tossed into the gaping maws of wax megalodon. Black history, everybody. But nothing compares to
It's
what's
like
under the ship.
a red shot. Goddamn.
A literal lynching exhibit that features, among other things, a woman still alive, mind you, swinging by.
Does a father have that much impact on a son's life if that's a father-son thing? I don't know what you mean by like the father-son thing, but it depends. I don't know. Like, my dad, like, this is me personally, my dad didn't have like too much of a big impact on my life until after my mom fucking died. And then it was just like I had to deal with this nigga. You get what I'm saying? BGL? Oh, yeah, or just leave me hanging. No, don't try to say.
I was crunching on potato chips, so I muted myself.
No, I didn't like how you said yes, though. You said it so like you're on TV. Yes, indeed.
By the neck as her unborn child is being dissected from her womb, along with the rest of her internal organs. Another lynching victim, this time a man who's also...
Oh shit, he's playing Red Dead Redemption 2 song in the background.
Being castrated by a gang of grinning gringos. And also there's a jar of dicks. Black history, everybody. It suffices to say that I don't think that this trip had the intended effect of my folks. Like, nigga, I'm 8. Why are y'all force feeding me this so fast? It's too much to handle at one time. And I bet that's what this nigga was thinking. Yeah, I bet y'all thought that was going to be a blowjob joke, didn't you? Not gonna lie, I did too when I wrote it, but monetization. Anyway, my point is my dad was very much of the tough love variety. That isn't to say that there weren't moments of at least superficial tenderness, but his idea of what raising a child, especially a boy, meant is a big reason why I am who I am. And why since the day my son was born, I've pretty much been doing everything in my power to unlearn that. And that's what I want to talk about today. How these two films, even though they tell different stories about Black manhood, kind of tell the same one. And even if told in different languages, kind of say the same thing about it in the end. Okay, so let's start with the, in my opinion, less heralded of the two movies. Fences revolves around Troy Maxson, the garbage
man. Fences, boy. If you ever, I'm just going before we press play again. If you ever want to piss BGL, Nova, or Olafole off, mention this goddamn movie right here.
I'm just saying.
It is a terrible fuck. I mean, it's a really good movie in a very terrible ass way. Like, it should have stayed a play.
We'll see.
And in 1950s,
I've never seen the movie.
Who was once a prom.
Like, this nigga was as evil as Alonzo, if you really want to think about it. Like, this nigga was horrible. Like, hey, what fight are y'all trying to start off over here? Maybe y'all don't calm that shit out in chat. Like, what's going on?
Promising baseball prospect, but never made it to the big leagues. A primary source of the bitterness that defines his character throughout the film and the play that it's based on. He largely chalks this up to the color barrier, but later on we learned that Troy spent 14 of his prime years in prison for killing a man during an attempted robbery. It was also in prison that Troy actually learned to play the game in the first place. So yeah, these delusions of grandeur that he has are going to be a common theme with Troy throughout the movie. So just keep that in mind while we analyze his character. It was in prison that Troy also met and befriended one of several primary side characters, his best friend Bono, who's kind of like the Jiminy Cricket or Brian from the first 2 seasons of Family Guy in terms of this film. We're also introduced to Rose, Troy's wife and part-time foil, Lyons, his eldest son from an earlier marriage, and Corey, his youngest son, whom he had with Rose. We later learn of Troy's own traumatic childhood and he beating his father with his father's belt after seeing his father attempt to rape Troy's childhood sweetheart. Another defining moment in the development of his character that we will come back to a little later on. Troy also has a brother named Gabe, a World War II vet who sustained a head injury and is now mentally disabled. Gabe recently moved out of Troy's house and across the street to Miss Pearl's, which serves throughout the movie as a source of underlying or at least perceived tension between the two, or at least according to Gabe, it is. And it's here that we first get a glimpse into Troy's character. Gabe was paying rent to Troy before he moved out of the house, which now is causing strain on the Maxon family finances. Money seems to always occupy Troy's mind, specifically how much is coming out of his pocket, to whom and for what. His role as provider is basically his whole personality throughout the
Random thing. I don't know if you guys give a fuck about that. But that's basically the way I was raised right there. Like most of my dad's personality and like a lot of like dudes, especially like those alpha male dudes now, is
take Murray's comment off the screen.
Oh shit. Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to roll this blunt right now, so I wasn't paying attention. But
the stream is gonna last, but go ahead.
No, but damn it, you threw me off. I was gonna try to say something actually kind of that made sense. God damn it.
This film serving as both a source of pride and pain, and it's often and sometimes even the only
you were saying that that's how your dad was
for his behavior. Troy, like the vast
but I forgot
of
what I was
black
gonna say.
men, especially during that time, defines himself according to his ability to provide, very much in line with the ideals of traditional.
Oh, that's what it was.
So long as he can, and
that's the shit that makes me sick. Because ignorant ass niggas now, especially these young motherfuckers that watch like Andrew Tate and shit, or these alpha male motherfuckers and shit, like, or they think they're the alpha males, but they're like only like 13 years old, and all they do is watch like Andrew Tate and like whatever ashy ass nigga that's on like fucking like TikTok or whatever. But like they just like. Damn it, never mind. I can't even think about it into words sometimes. Because sometimes these motherfuckers have fathers, and they have like good ass fathers, but they won't listen to shit that they say. But they'll listen to some weird ass bald and no chin having motherfucker that's on fucking like several different fucking felonies of like trafficking women.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be like, "Oh, sign up for my fucking $50 a month course, and I'll teach you how to get bitches." And he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you how to do this."
Additionally, like he's talking about like being a provider, providing for your family.
Yeah,
like that's all a man has to do. Like
no,
that
and that's
you
the
have
thing
to
is
do
too.
that.
And that's
like,
that's what alpha male like those alpha male motherfuckers, or they think that they are or whatever, or those motherfuckers that think about that way. That's what they fuck them over too, though, because they'll get mad at women. And this is what the shit I don't understand. They'll get mad at women like, oh, all women care about is just money and shit like that. But when you ask them the same fucking question about like what are you gonna bring into the relationship, 9.9
money
out of 10 is going to be something monetarily. That's it.
I bring
so I was like, if all you don't even bring your dick game in there, you don't even bring your stroke game up. Like even first, you just say, "Oh, I'm gonna bring this or whatever." I'm like, this motherfucker worked too. We all in 2024, nigga. Like inflation and all this shit hits all of us, man. I was like, capitalism will keep on going, like make prices going the fuck up. So it was like, yes, you will have to like have your woman fucking do that unless you have that banging of an ass job. Then you're probably most likely gonna get mad at her because you're like, well, I've been at work all day. Why the fuck you haven't got this done? It's like, why is my glass of water at room temperature where it should be ice cold? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, Like I don't know, like, but it's like, but they like that's what the thing that always annoys me because like it always brings down to money of what they can mean of what they provide, but then they get mad if they get that shit taken away from like a divorce, especially if like they fuck up too. They get mad like, oh, I only cheated on this bitch like 4 times. Why do I gotta pay her some money? I'm like, nigga, because you was garbage. Like, why the fuck did you marry her anyway?
You were married to her for 28 years and she washed your fucking dirty drawers. What do you mean? Why do I gotta give her money?
That's why I enjoy Tubi movies so much because like when people are like, man, this is too damn stupid. Like, no, I've been around a lot of niggas like that is that fucking stupid. I've been around a lot of women that's that fucking stupid before and shit like that. But like, no, man, like I enjoy that shit because like a lot of you niggas are fucking dumb. And also, there's a lot of niggas that listen to their homeboys that are trash as fuck too. They're like, man, you better go sleep with that girl. And once they do, you be like, man, you got a whole wife at home. I'm like, bitch, like the fuck? I was listening to you. You've been yelling at me for the past 8 weeks to go sleep with this motherfucker. And now when I do it, I'm wrong. And you snitch on me like a hoe ass. Like,
right, he's pretty much absolved of any other of his shortcomings, and that's if he even acknowledges them at all. What I'm getting at is we all have had and even still have a Troy within 1 or 2 degrees of separation from us. Many of us are even Troys ourselves. And I mean, this is what made Fences so powerful to me. It's like a lot of Black millennials and Gen Xers were seeing a version of their own dad from a third person perspective for the first time. And for me, at least, not gonna lie, it was kind of triggering. Fences.
Oh, it bothered me. I only seen this movie once all the way through, but I I guess triggering was to me, but then at one point I was like, damn, this nigga got easy because he only got hit like 2 times in that whole fucking movie. Like my dad choked me out one time because my dad hit me in, like I think I said it before. My dad hit me in the head with a pot of hot dogs that he was boiling one time that he wanted to eat because I didn't bring a pencil to church. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Wow.
Or actually, I did bring a pencil, but my pencil lead broke and we didn't have a pencil sharpener and he got mad at me about that.
Wow.
And he literally said I should have did some jailhouse shit and just rubbed it on the grout in the bathroom, in the church bathroom to sharpen it. I was like, wow, father, wow. And he used to get mad because I would call him father when I got really mad. And I'll be like, yes, father. Okay.
Is in its own way a deconstruction of traditional Black manhood, and one could even argue Black conservatism. Troy is a case study on just how fragile the identity of the average Black man is, and it is so often because of forces beyond our immediate control. We are taught from the time that we're boys that no one really cares about us beyond our capacity to fulfill our assigned role. That's the cost of being a man in this world, a Black man especially. Power in exchange for provision. And for this, I freaking hated Troy, man. And I hated him even more anytime I heard old niggas in one way or another sing his praises or even identify with him. Like, I could hear my own dad giving me that same BS lecture that Troy.
Boy, that mother. Oh, he's gonna play it eventually. Boy,
I know.
Y'all gonna hear it in a minute. I used to hear this.
I've heard it. I've gotten that lecture.
I used to get this motherfucking speech, especially if my dad was drinking. When he was in his manhole phase or whatever. Or getting into his second marriage after my mom died. And that's what pisses me off about everything. And I openly told my father this too, or any nigga that's like this. That think that just because you put in money and I openly even told my dad this though too, but anybody else, no kid ever asked to be here. You either A, have weak ass pullout game, or B, you wanted to have a kid. But if you brought that nigga in this world, if you brought a kid into this world, does not fucking mean they have to kiss your ass because they brought you fucking up in here or whatever. Like, my dad said that one time, like, my dad choked, like, legit almost choked me out one time because I brought that shit up to him. I was like, Dad, you brought me into this motherfucker world or whatever. It's like, I'm doing what I need to do, but you getting mad at me because I don't, like, say hi to you the way that you want me to or some shit like that, or you get mad if I do say hi or something, or I don't dry off a dish a certain way. I was like, nigga, I'm trying. He'd be like, no, man, you can do better than this. Oh, fuck you and all this shit like that. You can do all this. So I'm like, man, all right, fuck you too then. And he got mad at me for that. But like, oh, I can't stand up for myself now. Well, I'm your father. Like, what the fuck does that mean to me, nigga? I'm like, just because you have some, like, and I said that to him, I was like, just because you have a weak pullout game don't mean I have to kiss your fucking ass. I was like, so what the fuck does that mean? I was like, you've never been in my life any fucking way. So I was like, I can't miss some shit that I never fucking had. But then they want to get all sensitive though. We'd be like, oh man, why are you saying this shit? Like, nigga, get the fuck out of my face.
Boy did about not liking Corey. Matter of fact,
oh yeah.
Just
oh damn.
The-
I actually skipped all that shit. Yeah, that. But no,
I hate when it happens.
But that not liking shit, my dad openly told me he does, like, not only did he say he does not like me, he said, what is there to like about me?
Wow.
He's like, we don't have nothing in common. What is there to like about me? And openly told me the only reason why I kept you. He said this when I was, 18. I was just getting ready to graduate. And at this point, I was the only one left in his house, like one of his only like legitimate kids. This is right after his divorce, like about a couple months after his divorce. And out of nowhere, like, you know, we're both from the Midwest. When, you know, when a parent wants to talk to you real deep, they take you like the fucking Dairy Queen or some shit like that. So me and my dad are eating a fucking Blizzard and shit like that. Our own separate or whatever. But then out of nowhere, he's just like, you want to know why I kept you? You were the most convenient one. I was like, he's
Wow.
like, he said you would never come up to me with a problem or anything like that, or never talk to me about a problem or complain to me about anything. So like, that's why I kept you. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, you want to know why I never told you anything? And like, this is what hurt him. I was like, you want to know why I never came and told you anything? He's like, yeah, why? I was like, because I fucking hate you. I was like, I can't share shit with you, motherfucker. I was like, you don't give a shit. I was like, if it doesn't fuck with your bills or something like that, because like the main thing you care about is your cars. I was like, so why should I? Or it's like your cars are your fucking two other boys. I was like, so why should I ever give a shit about anything? I was like, you ever get those? This random fucking trying to think, like, but people want to know about me a little bit more. Sometimes, like, you ever do those guidance counselor type of things? Like they say, what do you want to be when you grow up type shit? Like you have to fill out a paperwork type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember one time me and my friends, we tried to do we wanted to start like a after school comedy club type thing, right? And I signed it, I wrote the paperwork out and I gave it to my dad. And I was like, all we need you to do is sign the paper or whatever. And we just needed like a teacher to like be the official part of it. But we mainly needed the parents to sign off on it. My dad looked at me, and at this point he had his other wife, and he looked at me, he's like, you never made nobody in this family ever laugh before. He's like, so why the fuck do I need to sign this? I was like, well, thank you, father. I was like, and that's all I was like, thank you, man. I was like, and I just took, he's like, you want this paper back? I was like, no, cool. I was like, yeah, all right. Then I was like, all right, man. Like, and I'm not saying this for no petty type shit, but it was like, I guess when people try to ask me like, why do I joke the way I do? So I had some upbringing shit, I guess.
What? His role as provider is basically his whole personality throughout this film, serving as both a source of pride and pain. And it's often, and sometimes even the only explanation or justification he gives for his behavior. Troy, like the vast majority of black men, especially during that time, defines himself according to his
I'm
ability
not.
to
I'm trying not to.
very much in line with the ideals of traditional masculinity.
Oh yeah, some people just have kids just because they think of them as, like, nowadays, especially, like, know what pisses me off about people, especially dudes, they talk about kids because they always say the word like legacy.
Legacy,
Like they're
yeah. Like
yeah,
you could be
like they're
birthing a serial killer. You
like
are your
no
own
all
legacy. Your children are
no,
not.
it's not even that. It's like these niggas like
Hey,
any
Miss
motherfucker.
Parker.
Like, I'm
What's
saying
going
hey,
on,
what's up?
baby?
What's up, Miss Parker? No, I'm saying niggas in the way of anybody.
Congratulations.
Any motherfucker, yeah, congratulations. What you say? You had a whole year now, so congratulations on that. No, it's like I hate when motherfuckers like try to talk about their kids like they're only an extension of them. This is my legacy. This is like they're their own person. Like hey nigga, I don't even care if you own land or not. You're not a vassal lord. I'm like this isn't Game of Thrones, motherfucker. Like I don't give a shit about what the fuck you want to pass down to your kid. Is he a good fucking person? You know what I'm saying? Like, is he not gonna fuck with people and shit like that just because they just want to live their fucking life and shit like that? Like it's not like, but people like, and that's what I said. Like, people will either like, I don't even know what the reason is. Maybe they don't have a lot of shit going on in their life, and like, and this is coming from a nigga that's like straight up depressing and shit like that, like me. But it like you don't have that much shit going on in your life that you have to live vicariously through your fucking son or your daughter to relive your fucking other shit and shit like that. I know a lot of people that do that though. And they
I
try
think
to
a
like,
lot
yeah,
of people have a hard time with the idea that the like you're saying, like even if you even though you might not think that, like for me, I did not look at having a kid as a legacy, right? Like I always viewed my daughter as her own person, and I used to tell her all the time, like, question everything, question everything, question everything. Then she would like question me, and I didn't have the answers, and then I was like, oh shit, what do I do? And it would throw me for a loop every time because I was the one she always questioned, and I was like, wait, why is she always questioning me?
might
But I think that a lot of people, when with their kids, like they don't even bother to think of their kids as like their own
they're not human.
their own people, yeah, their own beings with
Like
their own ability to question everything.
no, they are not. And like, and that's why I feel like that's what it is. Like, and that's what makes me even feel weird with like, I'm not gonna say boomers and zoomers all the time, but like some of the Gen X kids though, they're like, oh man, we grew up. And that's what is funny though, because they're like motherfuckers are like about like 10 years older than me because I'm only 35, right? But it'd be like a 45-year-old dude, but oh man, we grew up in the real sticks back in the day or whatever. Like, you know, our parents didn't give a fuck what time we came home. I'm like, nigga, you just got neglected. Like, I know how that feels, nigga. Like that shit ain't cool, motherfucker. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
I mean, like, what the hell are you talking about? Though? Like, oh, they ain't give a fuck or whatever. If we ever broke our arm, our dad would just tell us to rub dirt in it. Like, no, nigga, you were probably just poor, like me or whatever. Like, I fell off a roof trying to reshingle that motherfucker. My dad just like suck it up and just like walk back up here because we do not have the insurance to pay for you. Shit.
And you know what? Here's the thing. Like, there's sometimes some of those things when you're an adult and you have a child and you're like, you do certain things because you don't have time to explain them, or you know that at the age that your child is, they might not actually have the capacity to take in all of the understanding of why you do things a certain way. But
I might be wrong, and I don't have kids, but I feel like sometimes some parents don't really think of their kids like they think of them as human, but not as people, like people with like feelings
with their own like
thoughts
self-actualized
and shit
people,
like that, like
their own ability to rationalize and make decisions, deal with consequences, all of those things, just at the level of a child. Like kids know when enough is enough. Like,
which is worse, especially like when you're like kind of sometimes as a black kid growing up and kind of person like, and that's why I said like for like, and I'm not trying to make it all extra dark, but like, but this is what made me disgusted about like how especially a certain era Like some of them are still around, but a certain era of black parents would treat black women or their daughters or whatever because there'd be a lot of like, not like, and that's why I think I'm kind of really protective about black women and shit like that though, because like there is a reason why like Tyler Perry puts in his videos like an old ass nigga that's constantly hit like that's trying to hit or check out like their own fucking family members of like a 13-year-old girl or whatever. Then the parents will blame the fucking girl of trying to say they're fucking fast and shit like that. Like, why are you walking that way? Why are you doing this or whatever? I'm like, why don't you check this grown ass nigga, man? Like, why don't you check your motherfucking cousin? Like, what the fuck is this? This nigga 48 years old looking at
check your husband.
Yeah, looking
check
at
your
my
husband.
motherfucking
Check your
sister
brother.
like this. And shit like that. Like, why is he here? Like, but well, that's just how he is. Like, why are we even here, man? Like, you putting us in motherfucking danger. Like, what the hell are you talking about? And but no, they blame it on like the women about that shit like that. Especially that's why I say I'm very protective about black women about that. Like, oh no, they just being fast or whatever. But no, they're just like you guys just overly sexualize them. Like you
you
like
know what
certain,
the word I was
like
looking
niggas
for, Tito?
like niggas would treat certain niggas like black niggas would treat or just niggas in general, certain niggas would treat black women like how. And it probably might not connect with you like that, but they'll treat them like how like anime women are in certain types of anime. Like it's just like fan service, and it's disgusting to me. Like, and I'm like, you know, I'm not like the biggest super like feminist I've ever seen, but like I do believe that women are humans and they have rights, and they have rights and shit like that. But like, I don't need to see like I can watch. Like I can watch like an anime or a cartoon show or whatever, and that can be cool. I don't need to see like a girl try to hug up on the main character, and next for some reason their whole fucking top comes off for some weird reason, or like every 3 episodes or not, like they went up a whole cup size. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, what the hell? Just play the fucking show, yo. But they look at them like super sexualized or whatever. Like they'll like sexualize the fuck out of like, and I like only reason I know about that because me and my sister we are only a year apart and she's younger than me. But my dad and like a lot of people like they would just start treating motherfuckers like that though, and like that's what I said. Like they'll blame like, and that's why I said like I'm even weirdly protective about like even though I don't even listen to a lot of music nowadays, but I'm weirdly not protective, but like I really support Megan Thee Stallion. A lot because I do think she's creative and I do think she's actually a really good rapper or whatever. Not even just like for a girl. No, just as a rapper, I think she's pretty good. Like granted, I think she can improve, but like she's very creative and shit like that. But these niggas around our age or whatever, or a little bit younger, would try to blame her for everything. Like, oh, these are the reason why women are twerking. I'm like, first, you ignorant bitch. I'm like, you can look at it. No, but this is what pisses me off because y'all already know that I like history and shit like that. We're probably not going to get back into this video, but like you can look up any kind of brown country or kind of even non-white country or even like some white countries even back in the day, but mainly you can look at a lot of brown ones or whatever. Because one of my main reasons are you can go look if you ever want to go visit fucking Cambodia and go look at like Angkor Wat and shit like that. I might be pronouncing that wrong. There's carved in there before when Europeans first saw it, they were shocked and almost called it pornographic at work to see carvings of like people dancing, but they had their hips moving and shit like that in certain ways that was unbeknown to them or whatever. You look at it, you look at Afro fucking Mexicans. They dance in a certain way that actually has ways bringing from Africa and shit like that, but they'll try to like blame fucking what like a 25-year-old woman from Texas or whatever, but oh, you're bringing it all sexual or whatever. Like, bitch, niggas like this motherfucker that just got arrested, like Diddy and shit like that, all you motherfuckers that keep caping for these legends and shit like that, even granted niggas I even probably still kind of like or some of that, or like listen to some of their music that have been problematic, we made them into that. You like whatever, like Nicki Minaj used to kind of rap like a nigga back in the day. Lil Kim used to kind of rap like a nigga back in the day and shit like that. But then they were like, no, back when niggas used to really run shit, like especially back in the rap game, back when it first, before it really became what it, like the juggernaut that it is now, they're like, no, you need to talk sexy, you need to do this. But then they get mad now that these girls are owning their own fucking bodies or whatever, and owning their own fucking marketing and all that shit like that, and their masters and shit like that. That's why I really do give respect to like Megan Thee Stallion, because she owns all of her own shit. But now they're mad because they ain't no nigga basically being the pimp and getting the money from there and shit like that. How about you mad because you just don't get a cut from it? Like, there ain't no nigga getting the cut. Like, that's the only reason why you mad. That's why like some of these motherfuckers are mad about women doing OnlyFans. And like, but I told some of my own homeboys, like, oh, all these girls doing OnlyFans. Like, you just mad because nobody wants to see your dry ass dick. You're like, whoa, man, what you say about that? I'm like, hey,
me.
I'm like, don't get mad at me. I'm like, ain't nobody trying to check my ashy ass dick. I was like, I don't think my shit worth like, a certain amount a month to go see my shit. I'm like, and
Hey,
also,
word on
like,
the street is if your shit's ashy, word on the street is coconut oil does wonders.
no, I like my shit looking like a concrete road in July. Dry.
Ew, I don't even know that. Ew.
No, I'm just joking.
Ew.
Ew, gross. Yeah, we were over here trying to be deep and shit like that. Next, we just talking about
like
ew.
So long as he can and does provide, he's pretty much absolved of any other of his shortcomings, and that's if he even acknowledges.
Like a while ago, shit.
What I'm getting at is we all have had and even still have a Troy within 1 or 2 degrees of separation from us. Many of us are even Troy.
Then see now I need it. All right, now all right. If my cholesterol was high enough, I would try to do my best DJ Academics voice right now, but because I was gonna try to say some anti-black women stuff right now, but I can't sound like I'm about to have a heart attack like that nigga. Like, really, I can't sound that much. Like, I don't have that much hate for black women.
The
like
best
that
Academics clip was when he was crying when Saucy Santana said he would fuck him. That shit was hilarious, and that shouldn't be funny because it shouldn't be funny because like he literally was threatening to sexually assault this man, but it was funny because
I didn't know who Saucy Santana was until that happened.
So funny. I didn't either, but it was so funny. And I saw it.
I don't know. I don't know their pronouns, but do they have music out? Because I still feel like I should buy an album from them. Oh, I need to buy an album from them. No, but honestly, no. But it was so funny because he's from Atlanta, right? And then I'm trying to say like about it. So. No, that's that certain type of gangster like motherfuckers be acting like. Maybe because I've been down.
Saucy was an openly gay kid. Like he that's what I'm saying. Like as a gay kid, you know what I mean? No, like he had to
y'all be calling me country and shit like that. Maybe because I spent a lot of my young adult life down in the deep south and shit like that. Like those motherfuckers, like I met like some like motherfuckers like look like Debo in a dress. Like no disrespect to him, but they'd be like Debo in a dress, built as hell. But like a motherfucker regular like cis dude, like not. Like I wouldn't make no fun of him, but like a homeboy or something like that will try to make fun of him or try to snicker at a joke at him, and they'll rise and walk him down and be like, "What the fuck you say?" And be like, and they'll shut the fuck up. Be like, all right, man. Like, all right, I didn't hear shit at all. And next thing I'll look at him like, oh, I thought you said that it was a sissy. Alan, what's happening? See, Alan, you should have been here earlier. You would have kept me on track. I was trying to say some real shit earlier. I was actually trying to protect black women, and that's this she devil that I talked to right here was throwing me curveballs.
This black woman
trying to destroy
ourselves. And I mean, this is what made fences so powerful to me. It's like a lot of black millennials and Gen Xers were seeing a version of their own dad from a third person perspective for the first time. And for me, at least, not gonna lie, it was kind of triggering. Fences is in its own way a deconstruction of traditional black manhood, and one could even
Oh,
argue
you didn't really
black
miss nothing.
conservatism.
Just a lot of
Troy is
nonsense.
a case study on just how fragile the identity of the average black man is, and it is so often because of forces beyond our immediate control. We are taught from the time that we're boys that no one really cares about us beyond our capacity to fulfill our assigned role. That's the cost of being a man in this world, a black man especially. Power in exchange for provision. And for this, I freaking hated Troy, man. And I hated him even more anytime I heard old.
Yo, Troy is worse than Darth Vader, my guy. I'm telling you. If y'all haven't seen Fences, I'm sorry. Like, it's the best movie I've ever seen only one time all the way through. And I ain't gonna hold y'all. I cried at the end because I was so fucking mad. I was so motherfucking mad at the end. So motherfucking mad. Oh, I was mad at Viola Davis. I love Viola Davis, but she pissed me off at that goddamn ending.
Niggas in one way or another sing his praises or even identify with him. Like, I could hear my own dad giving me that same BS lecture that Troy did about not liking Corey. Matter of fact, I bet my left nut and butt cheek that half of y'all got this same lecture at some point.
I go out of here.
All right, before I even play this real quick, and this is the bullshit. No, because this is what pisses me off. Like, of niggas that don't understand, and they know deep down the niggas that try to defend this shit around our age, they know they wanted this especially from their motherfucking fathers. Because I was one of the motherfuckers. I was lucky enough to have my dad in my life, but I only told my homeboys. I told my homeboy Cornbread and everything like that. My other homeboy. Because they didn't have their dads in their life. And they told me one time, like, well, at least you have your dads. I was like, hey, yo, I would have been happier if this nigga was gone, yo. I was like, fuck that. I was like, hell no. I'll be cool with I'm cool with the neglect. I was like, fuck this hitting and shit. Nigga. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, but no, but that's the worst because it's like, because during this speech, and some people try to call it, like, if you can look up this clip right now on YouTube, and niggas were like, oh, he was trying to say some real shit to him. I was like, yeah, he was trying to say, make sure people respect you. But I was like, all this boy asked you is, why don't you like him? Not love him. Because love and like is a different thing, though. Because you can, and the only reason why he said he loves him, basically, or cares about him is just because he brought him into this world. He's like, you are a responsibility to me. Then what else did you say? You fill your belly with my food. You stay in my house or whatever. Put clothes that I paid for on your back. I'll be like, I didn't ask for this shit. And in this movie, the son was doing everything right or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I don't even know how the story really fully ends, but I do believe, honestly, he's the reason. Him and the mom, he probably got his ass killed because this was like what, 1960 or late 50s, early 60s, around this time. Because at the end, he's in the Marines. Either Korea or Vietnam is kicking off. That nigga died. I'm sorry.
Spoiler alert.
It's not a spoiler because he's alive at the end of the movie. No, I'm talking about in realistic thing. Or even worse, he may have lived, but even after Vietnam, niggas was not getting their benefits like that. And this was in like 1974. They weren't even getting Purple Hearts and being fucking Swiss cheesed and shit like that. Yeah, see, Alan, that nigga died.
Every morning, I bust my butt putting up with them crackers every day because I like you. You're about the biggest fool I ever saw. It's my job. It's my responsibility. A man is supposed to take care of his family. You live in my house, fill your belly with my food, put your behind on my bed because you're my son. Because I like
I
you.
like
Because
you.
it's my duty to take care of you. I owe a responsibility to you. Now, let's get this straight right here and now before I go along any further. I ain't got to like you. Mr. Rand don't give me my money come payday because he like me. He give it to me because he owe me. Now, I don't give you everything I got to give you. I give you your life. Me and your mama worked that out between us, and liking your black ass wasn't part of the bargain. Now, don't you go through life worrying about whether somebody like you or not. You best be making sure they're doing right by you.
See, if you ask me,
Oh my god, pissed me off right there, man. God damn it. Oh man, this should be really good.
the problem isn't in the content necessarily, because I mean, yeah, he's kind of got a point when you just look at it in that.
But all this motherfucking kid asks is, why don't you like me? That's all he
What
said.
did I do? Like, connect to me. Connect to me. I'm your son.
And if you watch
Connect
this
to
movie,
me.
like, it would have made sense if he was like a fuck up and shit like that. No, he was doing great. This raggedy ass bastard right here, not Denzel Washington or whatever, but you know, Troy or whatever, he ruins this kid's fucking life. Really, like, he killed this motherfucker. I don't care what nobody else says. This nigga did not live past like 1974 or whatever the fuck it is or whatever. He died in fucking Cambodia or some shit like that, hitting a landmine or something like that. Or like during the fall of Saigon or some shit like that. Like, I don't know. He died during one of those fucking wars. I don't know what time frame it was, but within those 10 to 15 years, because it's like he had a scholarship to a school, regardless if he would have made it to the NFL or not, or whatever. Because I think it was for football. He had a scholarship. He would at least made it to college, and this motherfucker still went out of his way to make sure he went off the fucking football team.
Mm.
And he's like, go work at the AMP, which is like, I don't know. I'm not that old, but I'm thinking like the AMP is like, I don't know, where they make fucking I don't know, your registration tags for your for your license plate.
Store.
AMP
it was like
is?
a grocery store back in the day.
Yeah, you the ham hock guy or whatever, just stacking up ham hocks or whatever. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Respect. What makes it an issue is that it's a straw man. Corey asked specifically why Troy doesn't like him. And instead of tackling the topic head on, Troy deflects with Black Boyhood Life Lesson number 105, Section A, Clause D. But the older I've gotten, the more I've actually come to sympathize with Troy, because what I realize is that Troy is afraid to tell the truth for reasons that I'll expand upon now, but get a little deeper into.
And that's what I say. I'll give it to him. He's more mature than me. I have not. I'll be honest with y'all for real. I have yet to hit that sympathy part at all for any people who are like that. I'll see where you're coming from, but you're not getting sympathy from me at all. And that was even back when I was a Christian, when I even openly asked like the pastor back in the day, I was like, why do we have to forgive them or even forget shit? I was like, no, I feel like if somebody do me wrong, I was like, why should I open back up to them? Especially like depending on what degree they fucked me over on.
Right.
Be like, oh, that's not the right thing to do. Like, get the fuck out of here.
To later. It's not so much that Troy doesn't like Corey. I genuinely can't say if he does or does not, even though I tend to lean toward the former, but that he fears him. He fears his potential. It's the same potential that Troy had, but never got to realize due to factors not totally his own fault. Troy, like a lot of people, takes solace in the idea that his potential and thus he is actually greater than his current condition. But this pride is jeopardized by the fact that there's someone in his own home who has the same kind of potential and might just mess around and realize it one day. And this becomes a problem because that unrealized potential is really the only thing that Troy has in this world that's actually his and his alone. Because what we learn is that Gabe received $3,000 in restitution from the government because of his injury. Troy then used that money as a down payment toward the house that Gabe was once paying rent to live in. Now, there is a conversation to be had about how dirty that was or was not for him to do his brother like that. But my point is, according to traditional standards of masculinity, a man provides, if for no one else, then himself at least. Troy couldn't even afford to buy the house he lives in on his own merit. He needed the help of his disabled brother, someone who, let's be real, is rendered incapable of becoming the masculine ideal, to do the one thing that
shit. Some of my family members, we had to wait for people to die to get a house.
Yeah.
I was like,
I keep hearing this and listening to him talk about the masculine ideal. And earlier in the chat, John was like, men need better role models. And I couldn't agree with him more. Men need better role models, but men need to fucking be their own better role models, right? Like, why does masculinity have to look this way? Like, men are the ones who decide what
it does not.
masculinity looks like. And men are running around in circles like, oh my god, like I masculinity is hurting me, and this masculinity is hurt. Then change the way fucking masculinity looks like. You're the fucking man.
Right. I might be high, but this is what I think. I think a lot of those people, especially the ones that are very loud about it, some might be confused about themselves, or really just don't know who they are. And I'm not even trying to say like sexual. I'm just thinking like on a personal level, they don't know what they are, or even like, because everybody goes through that point. And like maybe if you're like a young male, I don't know how to be like a young white male. Like I don't know. I still feel like, you know, life is still your oyster. I don't know. Like, but it was like, but still like, you don't know what's going on, like what's else. But no, but I get what I'm saying. But like, but I don't. No. I'm just saying like I don't get the point. Like that's what I'm saying. I almost agree with you. Like I just don't never. I've never gotten the point from even when the first time I heard about like red pill dudes. Like there's never been points. Like there's been many points I've been single and been through like long ass dry spells or whatever, mainly through like depression and my own shit or whatever. But and like I just like being like, you know, isolating myself. But anyways, like still like I've never been to a point where I just hate women. Like, you know, like to a point where like some motherfuckers do, or just like, or you're so honed into your masculinity. You get what I'm saying? Like that's one thing I will not get. Like I'm a heterosexual male, but I'm not a person that's ever have to constantly worry about, you know, my sex, you know, my sexuality or my masculinity. Like basically,
or anybody else's for that matter.
The dude, I forgot to put him on the what's the name, because I started drinking and smoking before we started. The dude that's always guaranteed, no matter who, like no matter what it is, what time of day it is, if it's a rain, sleet, or snow, if it's a black celebrity male going through some sexual assault charges, this nigga will protect him. Boosie. I was about to put. Did you not see what he was saying, defending Diddy and shit?
Umar was defending Diddy too.
No, but Boosie is always defending everybody. He defended Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, even way after like the evidence and shit like that came out and shit like that. But now he's protecting Diddy. But like no, like he was at Planet Fitness one time, like being very transphobic to towards like fucking what's the name, Dwayne Wade's daughter and shit. I was like, what the fuck's wrong with this nigga? Like, yo, like this is why I never fully liked this nigga, man. But like, no, like I still love Louisiana, but I was like, fuck Baton Rouge, and I guess, man. But this nigga is wild. Then also, let's never forget, this nigga openly said on fucking like Instagram or whatever on a live that he like paid a full grown like sex worker to like sexually assault his son, nephew and his son, like at the age of 12 and 13. I was like, what kind of weird shit is this?
It's the music industry. It's par for the course.
No, but
with those people.
But what he said, but if he has a gay son, he shuns him because he's Christian. I was like, what part of the Bible is you supposed to let your kid get felt up at like the fucking age of 12, my nigga?
Exactly.
Like, and openly say at streams like, oh, when I go in my son room, he have naked women all over his walls and shit like that. I'm like, is that healthy, my guy? Like, what the hell? Like I never even had an opportunity to have a room growing up. Like I mainly had pallets on the floor and shit like that. But like I was like, to ever have like a poster coming up, like I was like, hey, why would you ever just have like you'd be proud of your son just having like a whole bunch of naked bitches or something? You don't have like something else. You ain't got Donkey Kong on there. You ain't got Snake Plissken or something. You know, like you don't like sports or something, my nigga. My son's not gay though. He might be a sociopath, but he ain't gay. I'm like, what the fuck is it? No, I'm not saying about that about his kid and nothing like that, but like it's just the oddest shit.
Troy has built his whole identity on at this point in his life. Again, for anyone else, this might not be such a big deal, but for a man whose entire identity is built on being the hegemonic ideal, this proves to be.
I think if we address men's health more, like among other things, we would see hopefully that more men moving from toxic masculinity. Absolutely, I do agree. Is that, and I think certain us too was like, yes, the Christians. Yeah, like I also think like just because of like American Christianity, like kind of fucked up or evangelism, like fucked up a lot of shit too. But I'm not like I am an atheist, but I'm like I guess I'm not like I do like to like talk shit about like super Christian people though. But honestly, like if you are religious, like and you actually want to be a bit like to make it to be a better person, do all stuff like that, I do applaud you to it. But yeah, like American Christianity is fucking garbage. Like that's why we export it to like Africa, and that's why we like fuck up Africa and shit. And people like, oh, why are they so fucking weird? I'm like, literally, motherfuckers like that be getting like sued or fucking like indicted by like sexual assault charges. They go fly out to Africa and shit like that after they fuck up in the United States.
An enduring source of both strain and insecurity. Take, for example,
you're not an anti-theist
who shows up to the Maxon house every payday to ask for some grip. According to Troy, and by that measure, 1950 standards of manhood, Lyons falls woefully short as someone who's unable to provide for not just himself, but his partner regularly. And yet, even in the scolding, it's apparent that Troy takes a measure of pride in not only running down Lyons for his own shortcomings, but proving his superiority to his son in the latter's continued dependence on his father for money. It isn't until Lyons calls Troy on the carpet for his absenteeism that Troy's ego takes a hit and he ultimately relents, albeit with some prodding from Rose, who again serves as a foil to Troy's self-aggrandizing.
Boy, your mama did a hell of a job raising you. You can't change me, Pop. I'm 34 years old. If you wanted to change me, you should have been there when I was growing up.
Damn.
I come by to see you, ask you for $10, and you want to talk about how I was raised? You don't know nothing about how I was raised.
I always felt bad for this nigga in the movie though, because he's always just caught up in the bad shit. Like, damn, man, I should have just went home, yo. Like, I've been in this kind of
over here.
I've been this nigga so many times, especially in the military, like, because I used to hang out with a lot of married niggas, and I didn't I did not know some shit was going on behind the scenes and shit like that. And it's like, you'd be there, like, I'll be there, and this an argument will pop off. I'm like, hey, man, I'm about to go. No, man, finish your beer, dog. You just chill. We just having a good time. I'm like, I'm not. No, man, I'm scared. I don't want to be here. I just want to go home, dog. I'm like, please. I'm like, I drove my car here. No, I'm gonna drop you off, man. I'm like, what? No, please. I don't want to be here. Like, what the fuck going on? I've been accused on some weird shit sometimes like that. Oh, y'all fucking? I'm like, I met her today. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Wow. Nah.
Let the boy have $10, Troy.
And this is where I begin to feel sympathy for
I don't want to
Troy
witness,
on my latest
witness a
rewatch.
crime.
Because yeah, Troy is
That's
a
how I feel.
dickhole, an unrepentant one at that. But you can see that he feels some level of regret for not being there for Lyons in his formative years, even though again it wasn't completely his fault that he wasn't. But that then begs the question, why though? This is just speculation again, but as a parent myself, I can say that we parents have a tendency, especially in Black households, to treat our kids as little more than extensions of our own selves. This is especially true of fathers and their sons.
I will kind of agree on that. I feel like and I'm not trying to say like anything. I always wanted to say like I always talk shit about my father or whatever. Like he did gotta teach me some good shit. It's like at points or whatever. Like I won't always try to diss him. At least he was like kind of in my life or whatever. But like I guess he just took the masculinity part, I guess, way too much because he just thought like him working meant shit. Like you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like he just he felt like the paycheck was love, basically.
That's it. Like like
regardless of
it
like, especially when he went truck driving, he's like, I'm gonna leave you with a random person I married. He's like, have fun, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, man. He's like, oh, you know who she is? Like, we met her 3 times. We went to Applebee's once, my nigga. And I'm like, I don't know who this is. He's like, oh, you ain't gonna be at the wedding? Like, well, you're the one with the driver's license, so I have to be here. But like, I guess it was like, I ain't dressing up though.
Thus, we rob them of autonomy at a very early age. Furthermore, we judge ourselves according to the way society.
Yo, I think I had like I don't know, it wasn't Jinko jeans, but I had some big ass. I think I had some big ass Jabot jeans at my dad's wedding. Like, yeah, it was like 2004. I think I had them bitches on. Like the big ones where they had the straps on the side.
Wow.
Society perceives our kids. It can be argued that we're motivated to set our kids up to succeed, at least according to our own standards of such, as much for their own benefit as it is to say, look at the man that I've made. Only an even greater man could make a man such as that. Man, the catch is that applies just as, if not more so, when your kid fails to launch, so to speak. And that's how Troy views Lyons, a symbol of his own failure as a father, ergo, a man. Y'all see where I'm going with this, right? Troy's manhood is not nearly as secure as he intimates. He's a pufferfish, basically, because all of the chest thumping and braggadocio.
Did you see this movie though?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
We gotta watch this movie one day. I would just love to fuck up a Saturday for both of us and just watch this movie for 3 hours. Neither one of us are gonna enjoy it, but just like
movie?
I think it's like two and a half. It's really like a play because it's originally a play. So it's like you don't leave this fucking house. So, like you see like him pull in one day and you're just there for 10 years. Like literally like over 10 years. Like time frame goes and you just feel uncomfortable, but you feel like this guy, and I feel like he should have won an Oscar for real. Because like I've been at just being uncomfortable. Like you just want to come and chill. Like no, because there's been like, have you guys ever hung out with somebody, man or woman, that they might have a problem, especially if it's drinking, but they keep on trying to like they're nice to you and you're like, hey, just come over, man, right after work. You're like, fine, we'll be over there for like a beer and I'm about to bounce. And next you know some bullshit go down and you feel uncomfortable. Then always worse is if they drive you. Or if you just don't have your car.
And you're stranded.
And you just have to deal with that shit. And you be like,
that's the way they wore
God.
pants back then, John. Don't you know?
Oh, as pants wore up that was bad.
I had some older uncles, some great uncles that were like born in like the 19 aughts and the 19 teens, and that's how they wore their pants.
Oh, that was like before they start sending the oldest boys on trains and shit like that. That was like
Send you away during the war and shit.
that shit was wild. Like that shit, like didn't everybody used to watch that video growing up? Like what was they called? Like the Railway Kids or some shit like that. The Railroad
Yep,
Kids.
I saw
That
that.
shit was wild. Like during like the what was it, like the
World
1930s
War
or some
II.
shit like that. And it was like,
Sending
yeah,
your
that
kids
shit
out
was
to
wild.
strangers
Though.
in the country for an unknown amount of time. Hell, no, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yo, behind all of that is a broken and bitter man clinging desperately to any reason to call himself such, even if that means the people
It doesn't
around
have
him have to
suspenders.
suffer, which is where Rose comes in. I can honestly do a separate analysis on Rose by herself, but she is the silent sufferer of the film. She tolerates Troy's callousness for no reason than because she knows, even if he doesn't, that he's hanging on by a thread at this point. And if letting him spin a few tall tales and moan about how much of his paycheck she spends will keep him from going off the deep end, then so be it. Where she draws the line, however, is with Corey. Even if she won't vocalize it, she knows what Corey figures out over the course of the movie. And what I stated earlier, that Troy fears his son. He fears competition because he knows that the older he gets and tighter money becomes and the less able-bodied he is, the more vulnerable he is. The only other man in the house capable of usurping him. So his solution rather, is to crush Corey's flower before it could ever bloom. Yes, he wants Corey to be a man, but just not more man than he is, or at least he wants him to become a man in a way in which he can be able to take credit for. I've told stories in the past about similar experiences I've had with my father, where I had either surpassed or appeared to be surpassing him in ways that he couldn't really take credit for, and his attempts to stymie that, and me growing to hate him for it. But that was before I understood why he did. Now, understand something. I'm not saying that it's just.
I kind of get what he's saying about that though, a little bit though. Because my dad, like, I don't always wanted to bring up like
Yeah,
my
he's
shit
jealous.
growing up.
He's jealous.
I'm
He's old,
always
bitter, and
I don't know.
jealous.
Every time we play a Lil Bill movie, me or a Lil Bill video, I always reveal some shit about my past. We gotta stop doing this. No, but no, it's no, but on some real shit though. Like my dad always weirdly brings up like somehow if I forgot some shit, he always reminds people like I'm really good at science and shit like that. Oh man, my son really knows about weather, but he don't do shit with it. Like I just don't give a fuck about it. Like yeah, I did that shit in the military, my nigga. But I was like okay. I'm like, oh, you don't do shit with it, nigga, man. I'm like, yeah, I would have to get my
Why
master's
should I
degree.
if I don't want to?
The fuck is like, fuck you too, nigga. Like I'm still working or something. Like what the fuck? I'm like, what? No, he just like weirdly, like just like weirdly, like gave you it was those backhand compliments.
Backhanded compliments, yeah.
Like you ever been like I know y'all ever been invited to a family members get together and there's just that one family member right there like why did you invite me? I'm like why are we here? Did you invite me to make everybody feel uncomfortable? Like I didn't have to really be here. You called me 4 times to show up. I'm like what?
And now everybody's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't get dressed until the 3rd time you called me. Yeah, like if you really didn't want me to show up, you didn't have to do all this fucking work. Like, yo,
justified in any way because it most certainly isn't. But once I began
all right,
to see
John,
my dad's
we'll probably end pretty
brokenness, I
soon.
learned to forgive him for no other reason than because I just felt too sorry for him to hold a grudge. But I couldn't do that until I saw beyond the performance. And that's what Rose is able to see, a broken and bitter man whose fragile masculinity threatens to drive away the people who love him most. She is put in the unenviable position of balancing Troy's deteriorating ego with Corey's nascent one. And it's real easy to throw shade at her for not jumping full stop onto the Cordy bandwagon, but you don't so easily cast aside the ones you love, even when they are a POS. It isn't until Troy breaks Rose's one rule that she's completely out on protecting him from himself in one of the most powerful monologues of the movie. And honestly, an Oscar-worthy performance.
It's not easy for me to admit that I've been standing in the same place for 18 years.
Well, I've been standing with you.
Man, she's such a good actress right there. But that's when she got that snot acting too. Like I ain't trying to really diss her like that, but no, seriously, that's when you're really sad right there. You don't give a fuck how you look. But yeah, snot acting. When Viola Davis get that snot acting on you, that's when it's serious.
I've been right here with you, Troy. I got a life too. I gave 18 years of my life to stand in the same spot as you. Don't you think I ever wanted other things? Don't you think I had dreams and hopes? What about my life? What about me? Don't you think ever crossed my mind to want to know other men, that I wanted to lay up somewhere and forget about my responsibilities? That I wanted.
Yo, I almost got mad about this. You ain't watched this movie, did you? This nigga tried to buck up when she said that shit. Like, I got so motherfucking mad because he's like, this nigga, what?
It's so typical.
This is right after. No. All right. Spoilers for fucking
this is
Fences.
The movie where he brought the baby home, right?
Yeah, I'm saying no. Yeah. Spoilers for fucking Fences for anybody. This is minutes after he says, and I'm paraphrasing, but he basically says, I met another girl. She makes me feel special, basically, in a certain way that you don't make me feel, in some fucking weird way, or makes me feel alive. He basically says, got her pregnant, and basically, no, this is right before I think the woman dies, giving birth. But he basically brings this girl to him and basically asks her to raise her. But no, he's just like, oh, I gotta do all this. It was blaming everything. He blamed the motherfucking kid. He's blaming like all this other shit like this. But yeah, he wanted to buck up because she said she had the thought, just the thought
with another man. That is so
the imagination. Like he was ready to fight the black dude from the Allspice, from the Old Spice commercials.
He's ready to fight John Henry. Oh shit!
Like literally, he was about to buck up on this woman right here. Like this is when the part where they really have that fight, and you don't see him. And this is like the real third act of the movie, because this is when you find out later that old boy joined the Marines, and this is when I got really pissed off. No, but like like the son buck up on him. But yeah, this is when he really almost wanted, because she tries to walk off on him, and he starts grabbing on her and shit like that. Because literally all she brought up is like, you never thought that I ever had a thought of like being with somebody else after probably knowing that you've been fucking around.
Someone to make me laugh so I can feel good. You're not the only one who's got wants and needs, but I held on to you, Troy. I took all my feelings, my wants and needs and dreams, and I buried them inside you. I planted a seed and watched and prayed over. I planted myself inside you and waited to bloom. It didn't take me no 18 years to realize the soil was hard and rocky and it was never gonna bloom. But I held on to you, Troy. I held you tighter. You was my husband. I owed you everything I had, every part of me I could find to give you. And upstairs in that...
This nigga was a worse villain than Alonzo from Training Day, my guy. This nigga was a true villain. Like, he was just a shitty human being. And I was like, this guy is horrible. Like, I don't know, a cop planning some dirty cop. I was like, all right, yeah, that's probably kind of normal out here, and especially in America. But like, this nigga right here, I was like, maybe a hit two goes on. Oh, this nigga's just horrible. I was like,
bedroom with the darkness falling in on me. I gave.
Then the ending was garbage.
I had to try and erase the doubt that you wasn't
That's how it would be.
the finest man in the world, and wherever you was going, I was gonna be there with you because you was my husband. Because that's the only way I was gonna survive as your wife. You're always talking about what you give and what you don't have to give. But you take too, Troy. You take.
So let's talk about the affair for a minute. Again, it's easy to just chalk this up to Troy being a POS because, I mean, bet he is. But as with most affairs, the sex really is secondary to what Troy was really after. A release. And no, that wasn't meant to be a nut joke. Well, actually, yeah, it was, but again, monetization. Troy says that Alberta is the only person he feels like he can breathe with. There are no expectations with her, no demand to perform, no need to be anything other than himself. The problem is, aside from society itself, no one in Troy's immediate circle has really placed that burden on him, aside from himself again. So yeah, you could argue that this is just another in a long line of excuses to justify his trash behavior. And I mean, maybe it is, but I feel for the first time in this movie that Troy is actually being honest. He's being genuine. He's opened up the fence, even if just for a moment, before closing it once more to go on with his performance. That's what makes Troy so tragic, in my opinion, and many Black Boomer and Gen Xer and even millennial men. Troy could have been a better man than his father. He could have been a good man, even beyond just his capacity to provide. Hell, he might have even been better had he just not made that capacity his entire personality, but he didn't. He became his father in more ways than he'll ever admit. But he doesn't have to admit that simply because he never sunk to the same depths that his dad did. At the end of the day, he can always justify his lack of growth with the fact that he's seen worse. And if for no other reason, he's a better man. Many of us who grew up with fathers that were much worse than we are today have just learned not to be that, have settled on not being that, being a replacement for good. But
that's what it is right there. That's what the problem is. I hear women say this all the time. My husband is a good man, but he does A, B, C, D, E, F, G that make me feel invisible, invalidated, unsafe, blah, blah, blah. But he doesn't hit me, so he's a good man. But he doesn't call me out of my name. But you know what I mean? Like, he does all these other things. He doesn't hit me or he doesn't cheat. You know, like, he's not a good man. And so many men get away with not being as bad as the worst men. And because they're not as bad as the worst men, they get away with sliding under the good man umbrella when they're still shit men, because they don't.
I've never liked that.
Because
I've never liked that talking point, because you can use that for anything. Like, because that's basically like the we're only eating this, but they're starving kids in Africa. You remember hearing that? Like, it's like I'm getting like I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. Like, I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've always hated that argument because people always say like, oh, there's some worse, but I do agree with them on it, because I haven't really rewatched this since like the first time this dropped, so several months ago. But yeah, that actually kind of hit me home like that though. Like, yeah, because like sometimes like it even gets like that to me though, because there's been times like even my brothers or something like that, or maybe some of you guys' family members always said that, like, you guys came from like a crazy upbringing or something like that. It's just like, as long as I don't put my kids through this, then I'm good.
I'm good. Yes, that makes me good. I'm good as long as I don't as long as I don't physically.
But then that could also, then there's might even topple on it more though too, because then especially in the like Black community or something, or especially even like, because also it's like for anybody that's in certain type of price range anyway, to get like psychology and shit like that, or talk to somebody though too, is like actually even get the mental shit out though too, like, because just like some people like I was raised on whoopings when I grew up, and I'm totally fine. But you just drink
Mhm.
every goddamn day or something like that. But like, are you sure you're
Right.
all right? You know, like
Nova,
I'm
it's like
like,
Nova said, it's like the lesser of two evils argument. You pick. I mean, it's even deeper
it's
than
not the
that.
best.
It's
It's
like
not.
you have a lineup of all these deficient people, and then you have a smaller selection of people who are actually doing better. Like, and you're choosing the least deficient of the deficient people. Like, get the fuck out of here. Miss me
No,
with that. I don't want a deficient person.
no, like no, but I get it, but I also understand like where he's kind of coming from because like I'm not gonna lie, like I've been guilty of that and shit like that. It's like
Yes, you
it's
want to
too,
do better than your
and
parents. You
like
want to
and
be
I'm
better
it's
than
like I'm
them,
not
but you
perfect, but
want to
yeah, it's like but you also gotta like just keep on working on yourself and shit like that, and that's always going to be a
right
ongoing battle
because
and shit like that
not
because everybody like you always gotta like trying to keep on improving like unless you just want to
because
stagnate and shit like that.
there's more going on with why like Troy's dad did the things that he did. There's more than just the action. So not doing the act, there's more than that. You know what I'm saying? Just like your dad. It's more than just the act of the things that he did to you and said to you. It's it's the oh, it's why. It's what's going on in his head. Like so he's not being a better person. So like you're on top of not doing the act, you're doing the work inside of yourself to like heal and improve. And that's the piece that's missing for a lot of men, for the majority of men. It's not just not doing the act of being a shitty person. It's the healing and the improving because patriarchy, imperialism, white supremacy, toxic masculinity, all of these things have harmed men so much over the course of generations. Like it's the harm is in your DNA. I mean,
or
why wouldn't men have generational trauma as well from
or is
being
it
a
or
man?
is it like or is it like probably how some right wing conspiracies are? Is it just a psyop to make men start doing therapy to make all of them gay? We don't know.
Wait, no, wait, isn't it? Wait,
That just
aren't they?
seemed didn't that just
Oh no,
seem
oh
like it
yeah.
could be a
Therapy
fucking
makes
wasn't
you
it?
gay, and then jail makes you. Then you go to prison for surgery, right? That's what it is now.
Oh,
Isn't that
that
what
was the
Trump?
funny. That was the funniest shit. Oh my! Oh, when he
And
said
school, of course.
that seemed like something like you were talking to somebody that's like you guys both got off for like a 12-hour shift, but he's been like knocking back Adderalls all damn day, and y'all both having a beer at his house or whatever, and like 6:30 in the morning. He just says, "Oh man, what? You're a Democrat? You know what they doing? They're doing transgender surgeries on illegal aliens in prison." I was like, "You hit me with the most." That was like the most quickest bingo of right wing talking points I've ever in one. He
Wait,
said that
what?
shit in the quickest run off sentence. Like I was like, that's the funniest shit I ever heard in my life. Like, oh, besides that, they're eating the cats, they're
Eat
eating
the
the
dog.
dogs.
Eat the kid. They're eating the dogs. Eat the kids.
I was like, oh no, man, this is oh shit. I was like, oh like, man, I was like, I should, my black ass should have just stayed in Cuba for this. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, why the fuck am I here? Like, oh no.
That's the problem. Just not being that is not good enough. That's the definition of a generational curse. Well, I mean, it's not the definition, but whatever, nigga. Because even with all the societal factors having a hand in shaping his character, we can't completely discount Troy's own egomania as a factor for his piss poor way in handling it. If I ever do get around to filming it, I did write a script about Joker maybe like a year or so back, saying basically the same thing about Arthur Fleck. We know that Arthur is diagnosed with some kind of mental illness, but we don't really know what that illness is, leading to a ton of speculation in WebMD searches, including by myself. I won't give too much away in the event that I do wind up filming that video, but in my purely speculative and not at all medical opinion, Arthur belongs in Blackgate more than he does in Arkham. He's not nearly sick enough to excuse his actions, or at least his illness isn't so severe to be considered the primary cause behind them, is my point. As with Troy, we can sympathize, even empathize in places with the pressure, the pain, even the bitterness he feels. But just because we know why he's the way he is, it doesn't excuse the fact that he is, and worse yet, refuses to grow out of that. Yes, Troy has had it hard basically from birth, but he acts as though his trauma is the only trauma that matters. And that's the problem. He feels justified in being the way that he is because, as he puts it, life owes him for the pressure that it has and continues to subject him to. But the thing is, so does Corey. And so does Rose, and so does Lyons, so does everyone else he targets and hurts with his bitterness. That's the part that Troy misses, and he misses it because patriarchy justifies his egomania.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Damn, I should have really rewatched that though. I can't agree with that on that though. That is wild. That is wild though. That is wild when you really think about it though. Like how some people, especially like the father or somebody, that could be like, "Oh, I'm doing all this." I'm like, hey, we're humans too, right? Like that would be, we got wants and needs and shit like that too, especially like for a child, especially if like the child is like young and can't really like technically be by themselves and shit like that, especially like this day and age.
But at the same time, like Corey had his own agency. Like he's a teenager. He's 15, 16, 17, 18. Like
Corey in that fucking damn movie, because I only watched the movie, not the play, with fucking James Earl Jones, rest in peace, he just died. But they had him and Courtney B. Vance, I think it is, in the play. But but it's like it always seemed like what's the name? Corey just did everything right, but he was just like, he just looked like he had that potential to possibly be better than better than him in fucking, what was it, like in sports, just in general, because he was good at baseball, I guess apparently before he went to fucking jail or prison. That's even if it was.
Yeah.
But then but old boy was good at football. Then legit made sure he fucked all that shit up for him. To where, I say again, spoilers for it, he ends up joining the fucking Marines. So around that time, either I think it was Korea or fucking Vietnam was about to kick off, and it looked like he was around the age where your fucking ass was either still signed in or you was about to get fucking recalled, my guy. And in my mind, he fucking died. Like, and I kind of feel like the mom was wrong with it because he didn't want to go to the funeral. He's like, I don't want to go to the funeral. He's like, I really don't. And I feel like it was personally for him. Maybe I feel like he wasn't at the point. Maybe eventually he was probably going to go visit that grave. He's like, right now, he probably still had a lot of hate for fucking Denzel Washington's character at that point at the end. He's like, I don't want to go. And the mom like talks him in. He's like, oh, well, you guys are all the same. You have a part of him and you and all this shit like that, and slaps the shit out of him too for him just voicing his opinion about it, and basically kind of like gaslights him to fucking go to the fucking funeral and shit like that. And I was like mad as fuck. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I was like, no.
That's what parents did back then. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying.
I think parents still do that now, probably, but I feel like Hey, no, I'm not really obligated. And like, if I really want to be a dick, I'm like, the nigga dead. Like, I can go see him later. He ain't going no fucking well.
Going nowhere.
Like,
What's he gonna do? Die if I don't show up?
I'm like, what's the plot number? I can ask the grave, ask the gravekeeper at like during daytime hours to show me exactly where he is if he doesn't have a fucking headstone. Because I know some of was like, I know some of my family members still don't have headstones yet or whatever. Like, yeah, they go ask like the fucking plot member or whatever during the day. But other than that, like, yeah, that's it. Like, unless you like guys throw me up in an urn or something like that, like, hey, then I'm just chilling at the same spot every day, right there. Like, go to whoever family member it is. I'm right there on the fireplace, just hanging out.
Chilling like a villain.
Yeah, we'll probably just end this though because we were rambling. I did not know it went this long.
Yeah, it's almost 3 hours.
Yeah, and I still have not ate yet. So,
Mhm.
what the fuck was next anyway? Oh yeah, it's just a song. Like we're gonna play that out.
All right.
My boy Orange Juice Jones.
I saw you and him.
Story short, patriarchy.
Yeah, but I mean, thank you guys for showing up though. I know we were talking for
Thank
a
you for
minute,
sticking it out.
even
That
though this
wasn't
was a long.
as bad as
No,
I
but I
thought it
kn-
was going to be.
Oh yeah, but I knew it was gonna be long.
Fences was a tough one for me.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we only got halfway through. I knew we weren't gonna get
That's
through
okay.
all of
We're
it
at
anyway.
29:38. We still got
But
another half.
we
to do.
just so we just had like I have this video in the back for in the clutch for like a long time.
A
And I was like, we just
long
eventually
time.
I was like, yeah, we eventually gotta talk about it though, because it's a really good video, I believe.
It was
And
a
like
decent looking video.
and like even when I originally saw it though, I was like, he called out some shit that I even had to look at myself for, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like, I can get where he's coming from on certain things, stuff like that, and like the way certain people can think of certain shit, like, and I know even certain parts were like, I was like, oh yeah, maybe even I'm holding up some old shit just to be petty as fuck or whatever. Because really, besides religion, besides religion, there's no reason for you to like not to be an asshole. Like, really, like not an asshole, but like just if somebody do you wrong, there's like no legit reason for you like to really fuck with them again. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you need to be good back to them. Like, why? Like, well, like give me the benefit for me. Well, God might pay you back, but I don't like that might. No, I need a for sure type of no. Give me that shit in writing. If not, then no, I'm good, bro. Let me skip all that shit. Yeah, but thank you guys for showing up. We're just gonna go ahead and play some of this until we exit on out.
All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time. Look at him.
My boy, Orange Juice Jones.
Hold up, y'all. Did y'all see how that boy
Never
put his hand up?
Oh, it's
and did
this
his
boy.
old school R&B hand grip? You wasn't official back in the day if you didn't do this shit. Another thing, y'all see how this nigga was just laying low in his car.
Yeah, I was like, you know, this is one of my favorite videos right here. You knew how to play that shit.
Creeping on his girl and this nigga that she cheating with. That nigga looked like
damn.
Lamar when he was getting ready to pop out on Meech and Monique asses. Sure.
No, you're good. You missed all the serious shit. This is one of those serious streams. Like I wanted to be an asshole, not just to warn none of you guys at all. I was like, oh, I gotta get the serious ass stream eventually. I didn't even tell BGL about this one because I just knew that she wouldn't show up if I was gonna tell her that we were gonna talk about. If I knew Ola Fola wouldn't have shown up if I was going to tell her if we were going to talk about fences. Nova wouldn't have shown up about Nova. I was going to talk about fences. But this is my favorite movie that I fucking hate. It's like, but it's, oh man. If y'all haven't seen it, go out. It's a lot of good actors in there.
Shortly after
a lot of good actors in there.
Like, but he's almost as villainous. Maybe because it hits too much home for me, but he's almost as villainous as but nobody's like the biggest villain, the biggest, like, I don't want to put race on it, but the the worst black villain of all time once again is Lawrence Fishburne. Like, like that nigga made you like really think he was Ike Turner, but god damn it. Like,
Oh,
but
God.
Denzel Washington is Troy Maxon is goddamn up there.
We'll see him start packing up all of her stuff to see like shit, you got to get the fuck out of here, and then we'll continue to see.
Thank you guys for showing up. We gonna play this for a couple seconds. Yo, no. I just gotta get this part out.
Damn, you know this man. Listen, he got the Newports on the table. You could tell he done had him a drink, and he been stalking them all day, dog. And this is when people could smoke in restaurants too. I couldn't.
All right, y'all later.
Okay,
man.
imagine being at Chick-fil-A, and I'm just using Chick-fil-A as